You ever watch a wholesome video on TikTok or Instagram and it makes you feel good? I mean, so much of the internet can be this toxic, argumentative wasteland, but for once you're sitting there smiling at your phone, imagine that. Imagine a piece of content that actually makes your day better. And then you open up the comment section and it's a fucking war zone. Going into 2023 with the same person since 2010. Oh, that's nice. They've been together for a very long time. Clearly they've worked hard and been able to make a life for themselves centered around their shared interest. And I mean, really, that's the dream for anybody, no matter what that shared interest may be. And who cares about this? Cringe. Video gaming is the worst hobby one could have. What a waste of time. Not like what I do, which is spend all day on my phone telling other people that they're wasting their time. I'm pissed. Living behind a screen. Aren't you doing the same thing? No. You have gamer in your bio. Are gamers extremely lazy? Do they ever get up? I like to think that this person isn't making fun of them. They're just genuinely concerned for their well-being. Like, wait, have they really been sitting there for 13 years? I hope they're okay. What if they got stuck? Like, I know that you're opening yourself up to criticism whenever you post anything online. That's just the nature of the internet. But it's crazy that even the most uncriticizable posts where someone is just happily doing something and isn't hurting anyone else in the process still gets criticized. All right, here's another TikTok about dishes.
In our house, I cook, he does the dishes. And when he cooks, he does the dishes.
Harmless joke, right? They're just subverting expectations of what you might have expected her to say. So really there's no reason for someone to get like super pissed about this or anything. Oh, so he's twice as useful as you are. L-girlfriend. So much entitlement, the women that posted this and the women that are commenting on this. Just because you don't like doing it doesn't mean he does. So about helping and being a good person. He rather does the dishes because he knows you'll never do it without moaning about it or showing the initiative to just do it. You just let him do it because you're lazy and entitled, feeling offended when called out. But ask yourself, if you're feeling called out, doesn't that prove my point? This video is 8 seconds long. Slavery. That's right, someone watched this video and thought, oh my God, that's exactly what being a slave is like. And 5 people agreed? Slavery is when I have to do the dishes, even though I was the one who cooked that night. Simps love to defend this irrational thinking. Imagine if the genders were reversed. I know, right? Then the comments might be insane. Normalize men doing chores. Normalize women changing oil and fixing the toilet and paying the bill. Ah, yes, changing oil and fixing toilets. 2 things that notoriously need to be done as often as the dishes. Shit, I change my oil every time I drive. Only the best for my car. How often do you even have to fix a toilet? Every couple of years at the most? What are you doing in there? You shitting grenades? Look, I don't know who this couple is, but I'm positive that this 8-second video does not sum up their entire relationship. Like, in my house, Amanda does the dishes like 90% of the time, but I cook 90% of the time. She cleans more often than I do, but I do all the grocery shopping. I don't know, one single chore doesn't tell the whole story. But even still, being in a relationship isn't supposed to be this one-to-one transactional exchange where every chore must be split down the middle and every good deed must be reciprocated immediately. Hey, I just did something nice for you. Do it back or I'm gonna post about this on TikTok. What are you talking about? It's my birthday. Oh, I'm supposed to give you a present too? You would if you loved me. Like, no, you just figure out what works best for you guys, and if something's not working, then you talk about it. Clearly these people are traumatized from a past relationship where they had to do a chore, and they haven't been able to stop thinking about it since. It's time to move on. All right, you gotta let that shit go. There's another common type of TikTok I've seen multiple renditions of.
See you later. Bye.
You've been a great out today.
That's all right. Thank you. Bye.
And honestly, I like TikToks like this because I think this is really healthy and a good thing to point out. Like, having the desire to be by yourself for a little bit doesn't mean your marriage is bad all of a sudden or you've lost your spark. Most couples go through this. Most couples do this. You are still your own person with your own hobbies and interests. It's not the end of the world. Like, sometimes Amanda comes home from work and wants to tell me everything that happened that day, and that's great. And other times she just wants to come home and listen to a podcast and play Stardew Valley for 3 hours. And both of those are fine. That's not good or healthy for couples. Well, this is crazy unhealthy in a relationship. That is terrible relationship advice. When kids are down, it's time to be together. Each of you should have some time to do what you like, but do it while kids are up. One watches kids, then the other. It's a very specific rule. Me and my husband, we have 4 kids. That was in the 80s. All our time was about them. Now that they are growing and have their own family, me and him have some our time. We love being and around each other, but like he wishing TV and working. I like being at home alone, and when we be at home, we talk about everything, and then like I said, he in one room and I am in another. We be married for 40 years, get along just fine. I think she's on my side here. I'm not 100% sure though. If you love somebody, you'll expect to have its company as much as they can. It seems like there are two kinds of negative responses to this. There's the people who misinterpret it to mean that they don't want to spend any time together, even though that's not at all what they're saying. This is what, like an hour of their day, some of the time, relax. But then there's also the people who use TikToks like this to just brag about their own relationship. Sad. We like to be with each other at bedtime, even after 9 years of marriage. Wait, you guys have alone time? That's a choice that you make. No, that's great. I'm happy for you. I guess it's just that you must not love each other very much because I spend every waking moment with my wife. We have the same job, the same hobbies, the same friend, us. Our bathroom has 2 toilets and they face each other. A few years back, I actually took a class on how to stop blinking and now I don't do it anymore. What can I say? I guess I missed her too much when my eyes are closed. Of course, there's a balance to this, as this guy will tell you, not realizing that the people who posted the TikTok would probably agree with him. If you never prioritize your partner and you're constantly blowing them off to just do whatever you want, go hang out with your friends, that's a problem. If 100% of the time you'd rather be hanging out with your boys than paying any attention to your girlfriend, you probably shouldn't be dating her. You should be dating your boys. But at the same time, I wouldn't personally want to be in a relationship where my life solely revolves around the other person. You need time to cultivate your own interests and work on yourself so you actually have something to bring to the table. And honestly, sometimes when your partner is trying to minimize your other passions or turn you against your friends, it's kind of a manipulation tactic. They're trying to make you fully dependent on them so you have nowhere else to go and no one else in your life to point out all their red flags. I don't think a relationship should be about merging into one entity that is useless without the other person. Because if you get too far into it, you're gonna lose sight of who you were before you started dating. Just like with anything though, it comes down to what you and your partner agree on. If you both wanna spend 24 hours a day holding hands and staring into each other's eyes, go for it. That's awesome. I'm not gonna stop you. But that's what really gets me about these comments is that for the most part, everybody's just arguing for their own personal preference in a relationship that they're not a part of. If you see a video like this and you think, well, that wouldn't work for me, or my wife and I could never do something like that, that's literally fine because you're not in the relationship. Like, I just don't understand the need to go around imposing the rules of your marriage onto everyone else. Like, what's the point of even trying to argue with how this couple lives their lives? They've been together for 13 years. If this lifestyle was unsustainable for them, they wouldn't have been able to sustain it. If you see this couple happily on the same page about something and then decide that actually you know what's best for them more than they do, no, you don't. Shut up. In classic internet fashion though, I found another TikTok that's almost exactly the same as these ones, but all of the comments are angry for the opposite reason.
After our kids go to bed, this is how my husband and I have been spending time together at night. I am rewatching all the Marvel movies, and my husband is over here racing in his racing simulator. So we're like kind of together, right?
Now, I'll admit, the vibe is a little different in this one. Whereas the other people were like proudly saying, hey, this is something we do. This is what works in our relationship. This woman seems a little bit more unsure. It also kind of looks like maybe she's been crying, but I don't know her life. I'm just going to assume that it was from the movie. Ultimately, I don't know. And I'm not going to speculate on it too hard because this is an Instagram reel and I don't know anything about these people. Is what I would say if I wasn't a crazy person. She just wants him to do what she wants to do. Yeah, she's not happy. Something's going on. She is low-key putting him down. Instead of just talking to her husband, instead she tries to make a video and post it trying to shame him. Could you cry a little less? Have you offered or shown any interest in playing games with him, reach into his interests? I understand that you are not enjoying this quality time, visually obvious. Now, the thing that these comments all have in common is that they're all working off of an assumption. We have decided that this video is not sincere, and since that's now a fact that we all can agree on, it's okay to bully you for it. So I was curious, I found them on TikTok. I just saw this one on Instagram. And they made multiple follow-up videos where they had to be like, guys, can you stop telling us to get a divorce? Like, we love each other, we love our kids, we spend a lot of time together. I was just kind of tired because we both worked all day and you guys are looking into this way too hard. Please stop, it's weird. Okay, so mystery solved, right? And now that we have that context, I would like to present to you one of the most unhinged comments I have ever read in my life. I am certain that the purpose of this video was, we've got this whole history and all I'm asking for him is to sit here and watch these movies with me. I even put on Marvel movies because he likes him, and I want to bait him over here to spend time with me because he never spends time with me after all that we've been through. I don't even care about Marvel movies. Right, because Marvel movies are for boys and women can't like superheroes. I'm just making sacrifices to stop enjoying my life, not doing things I want to do or grow as a person, have a hobby, all for him to just pay me the slightest bit of attention. No one appreciates sacrifices they didn't ask for. Do what you want to do. If that doesn't feel like quality time, speak up. If you feel like this relationship is costing everything you want from life, speak up. Otherwise, shut up. Holy shit. We're not even halfway through, by the way. And if you do speak up and that's not what he wants, it's okay to move on with your life. If you feel like you could do better and deserve more, go reach for it. But don't go crawling back just because you don't like the new life you have after you've thrown away your old one and destroyed all semblance of peace for yourself and your family. Stop wasting your time doing things that don't make you happy. You literally have this one life and you're choosing to cry on TikTok rather than make a meaningful difference. Obviously, he's happy and comfortable the way it is, and if you divorce him, he'll probably just enjoy more of his free time after a fucked up dark period of feeling worthless and that nothing that he does is enough, because that's what you're saying here. Nothing that has happened before was enough for you. Absolute insanity aside, he based this entire rant on the assumption that she's pretending to like the movies. Like, you never stop to think, what if this thing I'm making up isn't actually true? That would kind of destroy my entire argument and make me look like an asshole. Nah, I'll do it anyway. Isn't it fun though that the internet is so used to just yelling at each other all the time that you can post two videos with essentially the same thesis and cause a riot for two opposite reasons? Social media is so fun. I'm having a great time. Now, if you're anything like me, seeing all of this unasked for discourse kind of makes you never want to post any private information about yourself because people are just going to use it to bully you or speculate on your behalf. You might even think to post a TikTok where you're like, hey, my partner doesn't post about me on social media, but that doesn't mean the relationship doesn't work because he loves me in real life. And that's really all that matters to me. Only to find out that even that's wrong too. God, and don't even get me started on parenting TikTok. I would never in a million years post a video of my child because I'm just gonna get a bunch of comments from people telling me that I'm doing everything wrong. Like, you'll see a video of a kid falling down, right? I'm not saying I seek those kind of videos out or anything. It's just sometimes they pop up and I watch them, okay? But the kid will fall down, right? And the mom will be like, oh no, are you okay? And someone will comment, wrong. Let her get up on her own or she'll never learn how to be independent. And then you'll see the same kind of video where the parent will instead be like, hey buddy, you're fine, just shake it off. Wrong. She's clearly hurt. You were supposed to keep her safe and you failed. And now she'll never trust anyone and it's all your fault. It's like, okay, what am I supposed to do then? Because it doesn't seem like anything is right to you guys. What's ironic about this though is I feel like a lot of these kind of commenters are the same people who will shame young people for not having kids yet. Come on guys, be useful to society, give birth already. And then post about them so we can nitpick all of your choices. Really though, that's just like the whole internet right now. No matter what kind of content you're making, no matter what you're doing, you'll just be living your life. And then someone will be like, that's not how I would do it. Well, I didn't ask, buddy. Now, the last video I want to point out has some pretty insane discourse, partly because I found it on Twitter. I mean, in general, when a TikTok gets reposted to Twitter, it's not usually like, hey, look at this funny TikTok I found. It's like, hey, look at this piece of shit I found. We should set their house on fire.
Day one of being a stay-at-home husband. Made us some tea and cuddled on the couch. And then I started to pack her lunch before she went to work with all her favorite foods. Snuck in a love note, drove her to work.
You get the idea, you know, it's a guy who loves his wife and is clearly doing a good job of taking care of her. They seem to be in a healthy, happy relationship. Not really anything to judge, right? This is more disturbing than gore. In what universe is that a superior life to living alone? It's a terrible lesbian couple. Okay, I lost it at the Beyond Meat jerky. I'm sorry, was there like a meeting they all went to where they all decided one day that all the guys like this on Twitter have to change their profile picture to some random dead guy statue? What does it mean? Every time you see someone on Twitter with a profile picture like this, I promise you they're about to say the worst take you've ever heard. The only thing gay here is using a straw at home. Fellas, is it gay to drink stuff? Have you noticed that like everything has discourse now? Everything is a debate, even if it doesn't need to be. And some of it is constructive. Of course, some of it is very much worth having, but then I'll see people arguing about like which basketball player is having the better season or how much cream you're supposed to put in your coffee. Like the fate of the world is on the line. I feel like there's this anger that's seeped into every part of the internet, and it's so hard to avoid without just staying off of it altogether. Like you'll see the most innocuous comment in the world that for some reason has 97 replies, and you're like, huh, what happened here? And the most recent reply will be like, no, I'm not the one defending genocide. You're the one. And it's like, huh? How did they, what? Who even brought that up? And I think what really sucks about it is so much of it is by design. Like there were those documents that came out that showed Facebook's algorithm was more likely to suggest something if a lot of people were using the angry reaction emoji. And then outside of Facebook, on Twitter, I've noticed that a lot of times the tweet at the top of a thread is not the one with the most likes, but the one with the most replies, because it's the most controversial. It is the most likely way to stretch out the amount of time you spend on that thread, because now instead of just the one original paragraph, there's now dozens of insane ramblings for you to scroll through. Even Instagram is starting to show some of the worst comments near the top. That's how I found the ones in this video. I wasn't scrolling to the bottom, they were at the top. And it's all because a computer told them that these kind of comments increase engagement. Let's not worry about what kind of engagement. Let's not worry about the fact that this specific kind of engagement actually makes people feel like shit and they're worse off when they leave the app than they were when they came onto the app. And not only is this making the overall user experience more negative, but by showing the hateful comments to more people, because you know that that's what will get them to interact with it, aren't you like actively encouraging people to write hateful things? Like most of the time, if someone's being an asshole online, they're just doing it to rile people up. They're doing it to get a response. And if the algorithms did a better job of flagging and suppressing those things, and maybe after a while, those people would be like, it seems my efforts are fruitless. This is no way to spend my days. I need to get my shit together. And then they like put on a suit and tie. But from like the user side, our side, I don't really know what the answer is besides just like spending less time on the internet. It just sucks though, because sometimes it's really fun, you know? Sometimes I don't get pissed off at all. I just laugh a lot. I like the internet. I like connecting with people across the world. I like finding new talented creators and following them and seeing what kind of stuff they make. There's so much good out there. I wish it wasn't so depressing sometimes. Anyway, for all the people who have sat through this whole rant and didn't care because they don't really listen to me when I talk and they only watch these videos to see the ad read at the end, you're in luck because today's video is sponsored by Factor. I've started doing a lot more meal prepping the past few months in an attempt to be slightly healthier as a person, and there are plenty of cons that go with it. For one, there's the time investment. If you're trying to count calories, it's not just the buying the food and doing all the cooking, but weighing everything out so you have equal portions. Even worse though is the lack of variety. Sure, I can make one big meal on a Sunday and eat it for lunch the next 5 days, but then I'm committed to eating the same thing all week. By the time Wednesday rolls around, I'm already tired of it and I still got 3 more in my fridge. So I started using Factor so I could stay on track with my health goals without sacrificing on variety and flavor. And the meals have been so good that Amanda is now stealing them from me. Thanks a lot, guys. Designing a meal plan around your dietary preferences is super easy. Whether you want something vegan or keto, low calorie, high protein, they've got 34 different chef prepared meals to choose from every week. You can even throw in a smoothie or two if you want. I'm not your boss. Not only is Factor cheaper than takeout, but it's microwave ready in just a couple of minutes, so it'll be nice and hot before you're even done picking out the YouTube video that you're gonna watch while you eat it. And I know what you might be thinking, Drew, what about HelloFresh? You have like a whole thing with them. And that's the thing, I'm doing both. Once for lunch, once for dinner. At this rate, I'll never have to step foot inside a grocery store ever again. My plan is working. Factor is America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit, and if you want to try it out for yourself, head to factor75.com and use my promo code DREW50 for 50% off your first box. Again, there's 50% off your first box with code DREW50, Drew being my name, of course, and 50 being the number of percentage off that the price is. That was the only way I could have said that. Thank you so much, Factor, for sponsoring today's video and saving me time that I didn't have to cook. Well, guy, I forgot to write an outro. Hope you have a good weekend. Or I actually don't know when I might be posting this on like a Wednesday. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna go do jumping jacks outside of a gym until they are so impressed that they give me a free membership. Bye. Everybody always says to me, Drew, you don't make your own merch from scratch in your kitchen. You have some company do it for you. Well, read it and weep, bozo, because I just made a fresh batch. Buy something for your dad at drewgoodenshop.com. Hey guy, it's January, and for the 29th year in a row, my New Year's resolution is to get taller. To be honest, I used to be really good at getting taller. In fact, from 1993 to 2011, I grew almost 6 feet. But in the 12 years since, nothing. What am I doing wrong? Is my body stupid? Lucky for me, I just found out that there are dozens of tutorials on YouTube, each with millions of views, on how to get taller. There are real videos on this website made by self-respecting human beings who claim that they can teach you to become more tall. Now, I assume the majority of these views are from children, in which case I have good news for you. You will get taller. I just don't know how quickly or how much. But as far as I've always been aware, once you reach a certain age, that's it. You just have to live with the hand that you've been dealt. Or in this case, the legs, neck, and torso you've been dealt. If there was a simple and foolproof way to get taller, don't you think people would do that? Wouldn't everyone in the NBA choose to be as tall as Bol Bol if it was a matter of choice? That's not how it works, okay? It's not possible. Or is it? It's not. But maybe no, it's not. Unfortunately, the only way to know for sure is to spend the next month of my life following each and every one of these tutorials and tracking my progress along the way. Now, before we begin, obviously I got to figure out what it is I'm actually going to be doing. So let's check out some of these tutorials, starting with the most handsome medical professional on YouTube, Dr. Mike.
What you should focus on to grow the tallest possible, making sure you get enough protein, make sure you're eating your veggies and fruit. You need to get enough sleep, because when you sleep well, you actually get a lot of growth hormone release.
Say less, I can do that.
And then on top of that, you want to make sure you're exercising. It makes you process food differently. It makes your muscles grow. And all of those things will contribute to your physical appearance, including your height.
You know, that kind of felt like an afterthought, didn't it? I feel like maybe he forgot what he was talking about and then just threw that in at the end. Because all he did was describe eating well and going to the gym. And that's how you get stronger. And taller, too. I'm a doctor. But yeah, no wonder all those really buff guys at the gym are also 10 feet tall, because lifting weights does both. I also found two very similar shorts from two different members of 100 Thieves. If you don't know who 100 Thieves is, they're a gaming conglomerate, sort of like FaZe Clan. And if you don't know who FaZe Clan is, then that sentence only made you more confused. So yeah, I think these guys live in the same house, one of those content mansions with 37 bedrooms and little dungeons for their editors to live.
There's a myth that stretching can actually make you taller. Is it true?
No.
Your boy is now 6'3". I feel taller. Oh my God.
Actually, I think what happened is that one of these guys made this video and then the other one saw that it was doing well. So they thought, oh, I'll just do the same thing. I'll hang for a bit, do some stretches, tell everyone to subscribe.
Now the most important step to really grow taller.
Go on, tell us.
Is hitting that subscribe button right now. If you follow each and every single one of these steps, I guarantee you will be taller.
I hate YouTube Shorts. I miss the good old days when YouTube only had longs. Like this video from Brightside, which has 33 million views.
Some exercises may help you become taller. Some of them are just so effective that it may take less than a week for you to see the results.
You know, if you told me earlier that I could do all this in a week, I would have felt good about that. But after seeing what the 100 Thieves guy did, I have higher standards. He grew 1.5 inches in like 10 minutes, okay? I don't have all week. I'm competing in a slam dunk contest tonight. So as far as exercises go, hanging is definitely the most common thing I've seen so far. Definitely gonna have to do that.
All you need to do is hold on to the bars tightly and try to hang, not touching the ground with your feet.
Right, because if your feet were on the ground, then you would be standing.
Stretching the neck backward helps to elongate the muscles in your neck, and a longer neck will give you additional height. This exercise improves stretchability, and a well-stretched body is a taller body.
Yeah, you don't have to say that every time. This exercise will make your legs longer, and if your legs are longer, then your height is more.
Number 10. Swimming. Try to swim a minimum of 5 days a week for several hours, and you'll see noticeable results.
Damn, they really saved the hardest one for last. Yeah, so you're gonna wanna stretch your neck for a little bit, do a few yoga poses, swim in the ocean for 20 hours a week. Dude, I make one YouTube video a month. How much free time do you think I have? Actually, don't answer that.
Remember to press 2 buttons after watching this video.
Wait, what was that?
Press 2 buttons.
To be fair, he didn't really specify which 2 buttons. So there's one, and then... Did someone order a pizza? Sorry, I think you have the wrong... A treasure map? But where did you... He's gone. No, I just fell. I don't have time for a treasure hunt right now, but I'll save that for later. Let's see what's next.
There are 3 proven ways to grow taller. Wow. Drink milk, okay?
Not milk. This is what I feared the most.
Doesn't necessarily need to be cow's milk. You just need a daily intake of calcium because that's what makes your bones grow.
Hey, calm down, all right? No one else said anything about milk, so it's probably not even a common thing.
Number 2 is drinking milk. I drank tons of cow milk.
I can't believe Big Milk has infiltrated the medical community.
But really though, it all comes down to your DNA. So no matter how tall you are, just own it.
I appreciate this person for acknowledging that genetics play the biggest and perhaps only role in this. But by throwing it in at the end, aren't you kinda contradicting everything you've said so far? But remember, at the end of the day, you're either gonna be tall or not. And no amount of milk you drink could possibly change that. But drink it anyway. All right, so let's recap. Here's everything I have to do this month. I have to work out and eat healthy. I have to drink milk specifically from a cow. I have to stretch constantly and hang from stuff, and I have to sleep a lot.
The more you sleep, the taller you grow.
And if all these videos are accurate, like I assume they are, then I will have no trouble hitting my goal height of 7 feet. That's right, other Drew Gooden. For years, you've towered over me, looked down on me in shame, probably had thoughts of squashing me like a bug. All it would take is one step. But not anymore. When I'm done with this video, I'm gonna be so goddamn tall that your opportunity to squash me like a bug will be over, Drew Gooden 2. And you're gonna rue the day that you blew your chance to do it. Let's get started. 5'11", just 1 inch short of being handsome and perfect, and yet it feels so far away. One of the first challenges of the video was finding a place to hang from every day. My initial thought was monkey bars at a playground. But the playground that I went to was right outside of middle school, and I just don't think it's a great idea for me to be walking around with a camera and tripod outside of a school. So I just bought a pull-up bar, and I'm gonna hang on that instead.
Hang for 3 minutes. If you can't hang that long, just know, the longer you hang, the taller you grow.
The guy from the TikTok said to hang for at least 3 minutes. I actually came really close on my first try. I made it all the way to 7 seconds. And I've slowly worked my way up to about 15. As far as food goes, I've been on a very strict meal plan. I'm eating the same things every day: chicken, rice, sandwich, oatmeal. Really trying to maximize on protein without overeating. Now, I should say I've already been doing this for like 2 months now before the video. And to my knowledge, I haven't gotten any taller, but I'm sure that'll come. I'm sure a growth spurt is just right around the corner. One more protein shake should do it. Or you know what, it's probably the milk that I've been missing out on. That's what I needed, is to buy cow's milk for the first time in 7 years and drink that every day. Just went on a walk through my neighborhood, better drink some milk. My favorite football team just got eliminated from the playoffs, better drink some milk. Got a giant pimple on my face from drinking so much milk, better drink some milk. I don't really mind the taste of milk so much, it's just that when you drink it by itself, it really coats the inside of your mouth and overstays its welcome. But I can put up with it because multiple YouTubers who I watch and trust assured me that it will stretch my bones. And I know that if there's one group of people on this planet who wouldn't lie to me, it's YouTubers. And then of course there have been my daily stretches, and you know what? Please don't look at my scoliosis, okay? I know my back is all bent up like a pretzel. You don't have to comment on it. In fact, I would probably already be taller if my spine didn't make me do this all the time. Now I gotta say, I forgot how good stretching feels. Even though this is currently having 0 effect on my height, I don't mind doing it because it's actually improving my mood. You know what's not improving my mood though? Sleeping as much as I am. What initially started as the easiest goal on my to-do list has quickly become my least favorite part of this challenge. When you spend every morning laying in bed, you have way too much time to just think about your life and ask all these difficult questions like, why is it the things that we can't control about ourselves are what we obsess over the most? And why does Mr. Beast have a Fortnite skin. The more I slept, the harder it was to get out of bed, and the more tired I'd feel throughout the day, the more weird, unsettling dreams I would have, and the more disconnected I've generally felt from myself. I feel like I'm not getting enough done during the day, so then I put off going to bed at night, which only makes me sleep even later. And as my days get shorter, I'm finding myself becoming more and more irritable. I'm getting overwhelmed easily by basic tasks. It's like I can feel the pressure of time wasting away in front of my outstretched hands, always just out of reach. It's hard to come to terms with the finite number of minutes you've been given on this earth when you don't feel like you're doing enough to take advantage of them. But maybe worst of all is that I'm still the same goddamn height. I don't understand. It's been almost 3 weeks. I've followed every step and I have not 1 extra centimeter to show for it. Maybe a little television will cheer me up. Oh, hey, the new Scooby-Doo show is out. I like Scooby-Doo. This should be good.
I spit truth without a filter, like every comedian before #MeToo.
This is the worst show I've ever watched in my life. Well, at least I didn't get any shorter, right? Oh no, I did get shorter. All right, well, now that I have even more ground to make up, I think it's time we start thinking outside the box. Subliminals, possibly the single most gate-kept online community. Through a powerful mix of manifestation and listening to lo-fi beats with headphones on, it turns out you can change any physical feature about yourself that you don't like. Hair, eye color, face shape, even your height. Don't believe me? Listen to one of the many testimonials out there. This works. I went from 5 foot to 5'7" in 3 weeks. Listen to this twice a day and I went from 5'2" to 5'8". I went from 5'3" to 5'7" in 4 months. Kinda just sounds like a regular growth spurt to me, but hey, results are results. And it doesn't stop there. Started this maybe a month ago, gone from 5'4" to 5'7". I listened to this once in my hair growth subliminal playlist and my hair was literally longer than yesterday. I immediately got a headache, oh my God. My cat recovered from cancer. Sorry, scientists, time to pack it up and go home, because the real medicine has been lo-fi hip-hop beats to relax/study to this entire time. All right, well, let's make a playlist. Grow taller, height increase after age 21. Grow taller, growth plates, activation, increase height fast. Grow taller in 1 listen. But get this, I can make it even more powerful. You see, they also have booster subliminals. Use any subliminals once and get instant results. Literally the most powerful booster made in existence. So if I listen to these before and after my height subliminal, then I'll double my results and get them instantly. Man, the internet's so helpful. Well, here goes nothing. I will be 30 feet tall. 30 feet tall. 30 feet tall. I will become a spectacle of human achievement. Spectacle. I will need custom pants tailored for my very long legs. When I wake up tomorrow, my body will extend far past my bed frame, through the wall, and into the next room. And when I stand up, I will bang my head on the ceiling. All right, think tall thoughts, tall thoughts. I'm a big old boy. Who's that big old boy over there? Is that Shaquille O'Neal from basketball? No, I think that's Drew Gooden from YouTube. Oh my gosh, the Road Brigade guy? Yeah, I heard he's so tall. I heard he's about 5'10". I heard he shrunk when he listened to subliminals. It's day 23, and I'm running out of time. I've tried everything. I've hung, I've stretched, I've manifested, I've eaten so much protein. I only have one idea left, and it's kind of ridiculous, but the only thing that I can think of that's still getting in my way is gravity. If I can just find a way to get around that, I'm chilling, right? That's my one obstacle. So I did a little bit of brainstorming, and then last night it finally hit me. I'll just go to space. Unfortunately, that did end up being a little bit outside of my budget, so I settled for the next best thing. I ordered an inversion table from Amazon. You see, my thinking is that if I can contort my body so that gravity is working with me rather than against me, then I can harness its power to achieve heights never before seen by man. Also, I saw some guy use it in a YouTube video. So I spent about 2 hours in my garage putting it together. I didn't think it would take that long because I have a drill, but every time I go to use my drill to assemble something, it ends up being the only tool that's not required. Like, you ever get a bookshelf from IKEA? They don't use screws. They give you 200 wooden pegs that are too thick for the holes you have to smash them into. Sorry, downstairs neighbors, I just time traveled here from the Stone Age. Anyway, it was getting kind of hot in my garage, so I headed inside for my government-mandated milk break before marching back out to finish the job. To be honest, I'm a little scared of this thing. I don't expect it to like break in half or something, but I was reading online that you have to be careful not to hang upside down for too long, because what can happen is your blood starts to pool in your head and then you pass out, and then possibly go into cardiac arrest. So, you know, gotta be a little careful. And since I'd rather not die in the middle of making a YouTube video, I'm gonna take it pretty easy. Probably not gonna do more than like 30 seconds at a time, at least not unsupervised, of course. But other than that, I'm just here to have fun. And I know it may look like I'm frowning and giving 2 thumbs down here, but hey, get a load of this. You see that? Life's all about perspective. Well, it looks like I'll be incorporating this into my routine. Everyone, it has been almost a week since I last measured myself, and I've really kicked it into high gear. I've done everything right. I'm feeling very tall. So I am so excited. Let's see where I'm at. Here we go. Holy shit. I'm 6'3"? It actually worked. This is incredible. This is life-changing. I forgot I was standing on a chair. False alarm. Let's try that again. I can't believe it. All those people, they lied to me. I thought I could trust them, but they deceived me. Hi, 911. I'd like to report a lie. You guys don't do that? You just do like murders and stuff? I just don't get it. What would even compel someone to go on the internet and spread false information on a platform where clickbaiting outrageous claims can be financially lucrative? I can't think of a single reason why someone would do that. But I tell you what, this is definitely going to change the way I consume media from now on. Now that I know that some people out there are purposely dishonest, I'm not taking anything at face value. And as soon as the Nigerian prince who emailed me last night is done wiring me my inheritance of $1.6 million, I'm gonna use that money to change the world. I'm gonna take out ads in the newspaper. I'm gonna put up billboards warning everyone to be careful, because some people don't have your best interest in mind. Some people do, like this guy who's about to trim my armor for me and give it back to me in the wilderness, but not everyone can be as kind-hearted as him. So yeah, maybe I started this video with a New Year's resolution of getting 13 inches taller, but after everything I've learned today, I think my new New Year's resolution is to be 13 inches kinder. Thanks for watching, everybody. Oh wait, I gotta go find that treasure. I love it. Wait, you telling me that the treasure was this video's sponsor the whole time? Damn, I bet this guy majored in marketing for 1 semester of community college before dropping out to do improv. At this point, I've been using HelloFresh for more years than I can count, because I can only count to 4. I don't know what comes next. And during that time, all they've done is get better. I swear every time I open up the app, there's a recipe I've never seen before. And the variety is insane. There's over 35 recipes to choose from every single week, so it's almost impossible not to find something you'll like. We usually go for the vegetarian meals, but every once in a while I'll opt in for an add-on like bacon or chicken just because it looks good and it only takes 1 click. And it's still super easy to prepare because the additional instructions are right there on the recipe card. The number 1 word I would choose to describe HelloFresh would be convenient. It's not just that the ingredients are pre-portioned and fresh and travel from the farm to your door in less than a week, or that it saves you hours of time every month that you don't have to spend at the grocery store, but it's that they also tell you exactly how long each meal will take to prepare. So you know if you have a busy week coming up, you can opt in for something that'll take 20 minutes or less. Their newest fast and fresh meals take 15 minutes or less, which is great because the less time you spend in the kitchen, the more time you have to hang upside down in your garage. I honestly can't recommend HelloFresh enough, especially if you're still trying to gain confidence in the kitchen. It's like training wheels for cooking. You'll make something for the first time and be like, damn, I did that? And there's not even a little rat on my head controlling my every move? That's crazy. So if you're thinking of starting off your new year with a new meal plan, you're in luck because I have a deal for you. Go to HelloFresh.com and use my promo code I'mALittleStinker21 for 21 free meals plus free shipping. Thank you so much to HelloFresh for sponsoring today's video. Now I gotta go fill up a hole that I dug. Hello? Can someone help me out? Hey guy, it's that time of year again where I watch 31 different Christmas movies until I finally find one that's good enough to talk about in a YouTube video, but then realize I took too long and I don't even upload it in time for Christmas. Happy holidays. I think part of the reason it took me so long this year is because there's too many places to watch them. Netflix, Peacock, Hallmark Movies Now. Okay, but what do you do if you're trying to get in the Christmas spirit, but you don't want to waste any money on another subscription service? Pirate one? Partake in theft? No thanks, that's illegal. The good news is you don't have to pay to watch Christmas movies as long as you lower your expectations as far as humanly possible, because some of the absolute worst of them are for free to watch on this very website. Now you have to stay vigilant because sometimes the titles will fool you. I got so excited when I saw the Polar Express full movie that I stopped reading right there and never saw the word game. Made for a slightly different, although not necessarily worse viewing experience.
My ticket, it's gone! I lost my ticket!
You also have to be careful of something even more nefarious, liars. Christmas at the Plaza, full best Hallmark romantic movies 2022. New Hallmark romance movie 2022. Perfect, that sounds like an enjoyable, high quality movie experience. Oh God. This is hurting my ears. Okay, so to avoid getting their video taken down for copyrighted music, they had the option to mute the song, or they could do what they did, which was play another song over it. Bold strategy. Let's see if it pays off.
The club isn't the best place to find a lover, so the bomb.
It's not. It's not paying off.
I'm hurting, baby.
This is so fucking funny to me. The audio is all out of sync. They have to zoom in and rotate the shot every 5 seconds, and they're playing weird covers of Ed Sheeran songs over the Christmas music. At a certain point, if you have to make a movie this unwatchable just to get around community guidelines, it's kind of not worth it anymore. One of my favorite things about finding these movies on YouTube is getting to read all the comments, because people are so easily impressed. As long as the movie doesn't look and sound like this, they will treat it as if it represents the pinnacle of filmmaking. Take Deck the Heart, for example. This was uploaded just a couple months ago. It already has 1 million views. People love this movie. On YouTube. On IMDb, different story, but on YouTube, it's great upload, no zooming problems, no sound problems, shit, instant classic. Their standards are so low that as long as the movie isn't sitting at a 70-degree angle in the corner of the screen, we might as well contact the Oscar. It's like the movie equivalent of saying, dude, you gotta try the new restaurant down the street. I went there last night and I almost didn't even throw up. Almost. I think the thing that makes Deck the Heart so fun to watch for me is how the low budget completely ruins the entire conceit of the movie. So it's about this guy whose grandpa dies, R.I.P. Grandpa, this one's for you, and he inherits his lake house with one condition. He has to host Christmas for the whole family there, just like Grandpa used to.
I assume your mom explained the stipulation of your inheritance, right?
To host Christmas?
Yes.
Yes.
Unfortunately, this dumb idiot doesn't know the first thing about hosting a Christmas. He's too busy working his vague business job, answering phone calls, and doing emails, even during the holidays. So he hires this woman named Mary to plan the party, decorate the house, and make enough food for like 15 people. Now, I want to play a little game with you called How Much Money Do You Think He's Going to Pay Her to Do This? I want you to stop and think about the scope of the job that I just described, and then come up with a number in your head of what you think this kind of job is worth. Go ahead and write it down in the comments if you want to lock in your answer. You got it? All right, let's find out how much he pays her.
Does 12 work for you?
12 instead of 10? Sure.
No. $12,000.
$12,000.
$12,000?
He pays her $12,000 to hang up a few ribbons and cook a meal. And you might be thinking, okay, well, some of that is budgeting in the cost of supplies. No. He gives her his credit card. Her take home is 12 grand. Can I do next year's party? I would settle for half that. See, but going back to what I was saying earlier, the problem with this being the plot of the movie is that she ends up spending the entire length of it, which is about 3 weeks of real time, decorating the house. She's working sunset to sunrise. She's working weekends. She's pouring her blood, sweat, and tears into this holiday decor. So by the end of the movie, you're kind of expecting something spectacular, right? Something that would warrant her paycheck and the amount of time invested. Or, you know, at the very least, that she would have finished decorating the kitchen cabinets instead of stopping halfway through.
The house looks marvelous.
Hey, you know we can see it too, right? She clearly just hung up one thing from Hobby Lobby and called it a day.
But you're really good at what you do, Mary.
It's not really work to me.
Well, that's probably because you're not actually doing that much. I feel like this movie is gaslighting me. Why is everyone so impressed by tinsel? Actually, in an attempt to solve the age-old problem of viewers having eyeballs, the director does something really fun where they constantly choose not to show us stuff. Big reveal at the end of the movie, balcony lights, she's been working on these all month, and oh, it's out of frame. Well, at least we get to see everyone's reaction to it. They also talk about the game room incessantly.
Well, I have some work to do, so I'll be in the game room. And you know what? It might be easier if you just come in through the game room. Enter through the game room downstairs.
Oh, you have a game room?
Yes.
They mention it so much, I'm surprised it's not listed as a credited character. And yet, I could not tell you what 75% of this room looks like.
Welcome to the game room.
Cozy. I like it.
Some of my best family memories were made here.
Can we see it?
Impressive.
This room has an endless supply of snacks during the holidays. People get lost down here for hours.
Sounds really fun. Can we see it?
No, not at all.
Wow, what's that thing they teach you in film school? Why show something when you can simply describe it? Speaking of describing, I love when he gives her a tour of the house and overly explains what every room does.
This is the kitchen and dining room.
Obviously.
Linen closet.
Obviously.
This is the foyer. It's the main entrance to the house. Everybody comes and goes through here.
Obviously.
Oh, so people walk through the door to get inside. Gotcha. What? But how do they get back out? Believe it or not, same door. No way, it does both? Also, is anyone gonna explain to me why he had to change his pants halfway through the tour? Be honest. Did you piss yourself? Overall, this is a boring ass movie, but I do want to point out some of my personal highlights. During what's supposed to be an emotional moment early on, this is a real sound effect that is actually in the movie.
My parents never really got into birthdays or the holidays or anything, so I was always left up to my own devices for them.
Oh, that's so sad.
Promise me when I'm gone, you'll take care of my family.
It's fine. It's fine, really.
You already had an audience there. You could have just had them go, oh. I like the scene where Chris tries one of the meals Mary is proposing to make for Christmas.
I can see it in your eyes. You're disappointed in something.
Yeah, to be fair, if I paid someone $12,000 and they made me chicken and broccoli, I'd be pretty disappointed too. I like when he picks up her parents at the airport and it looks like they're outside of a prison. Every transition shot in this movie is stock footage and none of it goes together. This sequence right here is 3 different cities during 3 different seasons. All right, and then we're gonna use an establishing shot of Bluegrass Grill in Chattanooga before heading inside a coffee shop called Sweetwater's. One of the most positive comments I'm seeing a lot under this video is how much chemistry the actors have, which is funny because they don't. Mary, look, I'm wearing a glove.
What are you doing?
Setting lights up on the roof?
Why?
Because it's my job.
Wow. What a script, huh? So the main guy, Chris, in this movie is played by someone named Joe Kurak, and he is my new favorite actor. He is so funny. He's like if someone 3D printed a human being.
No, please don't tell anyone, please.
What happened?
He's like if John Hamm and a dog had a baby.
I appreciate dinner and dessert. Especially dessert. He even made a gingerbread house one year.
He sort of walks around like he just learned how to a few days ago. Every line is delivered like he's in an entirely different movie than everyone else.
Thaddeus is my cat.
Your cat? I quit. I know.
Joe Kurak is my hero, and at this point, I had to find more movies with him in it. Now, in my search for more Joe, I stumbled across a YouTube channel called Encourage TV, and I gotta say, this is one of the weirdest channels on this entire website. There are days where they upload multiple full-length movies. I'm talking feature-length films with actors and production teams posted on YouTube for free that will end up with like 600 views. Where are they getting the money to make all of these? It makes no sense. Now, to be fair, some of these are a little misleading. They have a whole series of wiki films, which is where an AI voice spends 2 hours reading someone's Wikipedia page. So if you're trying to learn about New York in the least interesting way possible, I definitely recommend this video.
In fiscal year 2013-14, Wall Street Security...
Ooh, The Bill Collector, a cheerful comedy with Danny Trejo. That sounds like just the kind of light and funny Christmas movie I'm in the mood for. Is neither cheerful nor comedic. We've got Renfro's White Christmas. This one is set in the 1930s, and I really love what they did to make this an authentic period piece. All of the microphones they use are fucking terrible. Huh? What? But as bizarre as 98% of their catalog is, every so often they'll upload a Christmas movie that will immediately get a shit ton of views. This time, it's Christmas at the Holly Hotel, starring, of course, our dear friend Joe. And say it with me, she has a job in New York City, but for Christmas, she goes back to her small town, where she falls in love with the guy she just met, so she quits her job and stays there forever. I've never seen anything like it! This time, Joe is a cop named Officer Matthew.
Just Matthew.
Sorry, just Matthew. And in classic meet-cute fashion, he pulls her over for reckless driving.
How fast was I going?
51 in a 25.
That doesn't seem exceptionally reckless.
No, that's pretty reckless.
Maybe if you check your instruments again, you might see I was only going 35 in a 25. Or if you look really close, you might see I was only going 25 in a 25.
And if you look even closer than that, you may see that I wasn't even moving at all. Write that down. My car was parked. Can't be speeding when your car's parked.
I'm Kathy, by the way.
I hate that she's making me side with the cop here, but like if she was going 28 and a 25 and he pulled her over, you know, that's pretty negligible. But she was going double the speed limit. She's driving through a neighborhood in inclement weather like she's on a freeway and then has the nerve to be like, this town hates me.
This town, which loves me so much, gifted me with a reckless driving ticket for Christmas.
Yeah, it's the holidays. There are still laws in December. Christmas isn't the purge. Yeah, big deal. So maybe I killed a pedestrian. You're gonna put me in jail the day Santa's coming to town? For pretty much the entire movie, she will just not let this go.
Sunny here gave me a ticket on the way into town this morning.
Right before Christmas? That's outrageous.
Also, this poor woman, this sweet old lady, they gave her so many lines.
Not at all. He thinks he's the bee's knees because he gets to wear a badge. But I remember...
Side note, do you think this guy only plays characters that have a weirdly close relationship with one of their grandparents?
I was in the dining room with him. He was one good-looking man.
Grandma!
He was 15 before I convinced him that there was no such thing.
Grandma!
Come a little closer, Sonny. I bet I can still lean you over my knee.
Grandma!
How do you feel about that grandson of mine?
Grandma, please.
Fine, yes.
That's how you ask someone out on a date.
Good news, they're gonna go on a date. Bad news, they're not gonna go on a date, as depicted by this text. Hey, it's not December 21st. That calendar says February. Throughout the whole movie, which takes place over the course of 5 days, Kathy's phone friend keeps insisting that this man she knows nothing about and has never met is destined to be Kathy's husband.
He was a total jerk.
He could be the one.
Actually, everyone around her keeps demanding that she fall in love with him.
Stood you up? Did you see the way he took care of his grandmother last night?
Grandma!
That boy's a keeper cat.
So after being coerced by her family and friends into giving a second chance to the cardboard cutout who stood her up yesterday, she agrees to give him another chance, and he reacts to this news in a very normal, human way. Now, since this guy can't ever open his mouth without sounding like an alien sent here to infiltrate Hollywood, the director smartly depicts the first date in the form of a montage. Kathy, your friend's falling over. It's not my friend, Matthew, it's a tree. Nice to meet you, friend. Don't shake his hand. And they go on another date, this time speaking words, and boy, are the sparks flying now.
You don't pull punches, do you?
Can't. Too much of Grandma Williams' blood in me.
I drank some on the way over here.
I want to hold my best friend while we watch our children unwrap the presents on Christmas morning.
This guy has definitely killed someone.
I'm just a regular guy.
Wow, wait until her nameless phone friend hears about this magical evening.
I just don't think that I'm the girl for him.
You've ruined my night, and you are literally ruining Christmas. Goodbye.
You kidding me, dude? She hung up on her. It's gotta be the most unrealistic trope in all these Christmas movies, right? Is the friend who only ever has good things to say about the man the main character's interested in. Kathy, if you don't quit your job and marry this man tomorrow, I can't be your friend anymore, and then I'll die. Is that what you want for me? You know I only exist through the prism of your love life. Now, Kathy's the only one being smart about this. She's resisting the urge to drop everything in her life just because she met a handsome man. But her friend, her parents, even mischievous Grandma Williams will not take no for an answer.
Is there any chance you're reserved by a Mrs. Williams?
Absolutely not.
Grandma Williams.
She went behind their backs to force them onto a horse-drawn carriage driven by, for some reason, 2 different men. That's not the same guy from The Wide Shot.
It's a beautiful day.
Come on, it's a beautiful day. The sun's not out. We're freezing to death. Couldn't ask for better weather.
Maybe you should tell me what it would be like with you.
A lot of Grandma Williams.
Be serious.
I am
serious. She won't leave me alone. What are you saying about me, boy? Nothing, Grandma. I love you.
I have a job, possibly my dream job as the lead editor at the Times. I mean, and my apartment.
I didn't hear you mention anything about having a life.
I'm sorry.
About what?
I pooped in the carriage. Well, it's a good thing they didn't kiss before going their separate ways, because it looks like they're never gonna see each other again.
Goodbye, Matthew. Wait, what are you doing tomorrow?
They are gonna see each other again.
I don't know.
She just can't resist this guy and his endless charm. I mean, can you blame her, though? He's always saying normal person things.
You're much smarter than I am. I'll always be known as the sweet one in any conversation about us. You are such a scientist. We might be beautiful.
But of course, right when things are coming together for them, disaster strikes.
We've decided to offer you the job. Pack your bags and head to the airport.
My dream job? But it's Christmas. Now, this is actually a pretty shitty thing for the company to do. She made it very clear what her availability was during the interview, and already they're ignoring that and pressuring her to abandon her family plans and fly to New York on a holiday. She hasn't even started working for them yet, and already they're violating her boundaries, which doesn't bode well for their future employment relationship. However, it's not like she articulates anything like that. Everything in her life is now centered around the handsome police robot she met 3 days ago. I can't give up on that for my career.
And in New York, just never felt like home no matter how long I lived there.
Of course not. You can't create a new life away from your hometown. If you move away from the city where your parents live, you will be miserable and you will regret it. This is also the part of the movie where Grandma Williams' true colors come out.
Things didn't work out the way I'd hoped.
Did you let that girl get away?
I didn't let her. She chose New York over me.
Why did you give her a choice?
I'm sorry, what?
What was I supposed to do? Kidnap her?
If that's what it took.
Okay.
I can't always count on your sense of humor, Grandma.
I wasn't joking.
Grandma!
Now we know where he gets his crazy from.
A text? Are you kidding me?
You sent me a text?
You chased me down in a cop car and pulled me over. Matthew, don't act like I'm the crazy one.
When is the last time you've been in love? I've been in love once. Right now, today with you, that's it.
Dude, it hasn't even been a week.
So yeah, I'm out here in the cold, outside my jurisdiction, abusing my police powers.
You are?
But that's not crazy.
Yes, it is.
Crazy is you driving off and pretending like you don't feel the same way.
I can't.
Kathy.
Kathy, please, you can't leave now. Once you go reestablish your independence, I no longer have any power over you.
Matthew.
Kathy.
Kathy.
You came back.
You came back.
Kathy, come on! You can kiss her later. When? When is that?
This is the guy you uprooted your life for? Actually, I think this is the moment Joe decided to sabotage this movie, because every line delivery from this point forward is a masterclass in performance.
The president wants to talk to you.
Of the United States?
The United States?
Matthew, Mr. President.
It's nice meeting you, Matthew.
I love you too.
They're saying I love you and they haven't even kissed yet? No. No!
Will you marry me?
He proposed? It's been 5 days!
Yes, I would love nothing more.
Not surprised she said yes. At this point, she's already given up everything else in her life. What if after all that, they finally kissed and were like, Actually, that was kind of gross. Can I have that ring back? Fine, yeah, take it. I gotta get my job back. Look, I like love as much as the next guy. I also don't think your career has to be your #1 priority at all times. But that's 2 movies in a row where one of the main characters quits their job on a whim to be with someone they just met. Like, can we stop to think about what's gonna happen after the credits roll? You gonna pay the bills in kisses? Like, I think Joe's really gonna regret blowing 12 grand on one party when he runs out of money in 3 months. Like, I'm a sucker for a good romance story. I'm a regular guy.
I'm just a regular guy.
But it always drives me crazy when there's no practicality involved. Like, we're just gonna drop everything else in our lives and prioritize this brand new relationship. Of course you feel that way in the moment. Of course it seems like a good idea at first, but they don't know anything about each other. Anyway, I watched some other movies too, but they were all so bad. It's not even worth talking about. Santa's Boot Camp started off strong, but then it got really boring and I just had to skip to the end.
I have a gift for you.
To show you that bad kids can be nice. I don't have feelings for Christy North.
Hope for Christmas, a Pastor Greg reboot. Not as good as the title makes it seem like it would be. Going into it, I was like, oh, this is the perfect movie. It's 40 minutes long. I love that. So efficient. Why go watch new Avatar, 3-hour movie, when I could stay home and watch this movie 5 times? But then I spent the whole runtime just being confused about what the hell was going on. Why is everyone in this town so obsessed with shopping sprees? What is happening to this boy? And why are there so many pivotal moments that have no sound? Here, let me fix it.
It's how you do it that defines it.
Now that's moving. Well, I'd love to stay and talk more about Christmas and the film industry as a whole, but my family's in town. You know how it is. I gotta go cheer up my cousin.
Hey buddy, what's wrong? Christmas is over and I don't have any more presents. Oh, well, do you want to play with any of your presents? You got like a ton of Legos. I will, it's just, you know, my favorite part is opening the boxes and now there's none left. Yeah, that's a bummer, all right. But you know, if you wanted another box to open, you could always order today's sponsor, HelloFresh. Really? Yep, they send you a box of food to your door every week. Really? That's right, they bring it to you. Do you want to know what's in the box? No. Oh. Why? I still have to tell everyone. Right, contractually, you have to explain what's in the box. After a stressful couple of weeks preparing for the holidays, the last thing I want to do right now is go to the grocery store. But I like cooking, and I don't want to waste a bunch of money on takeout, and that's why HelloFresh is great for me and why I've been using it for so many years now. They send farm-fresh ingredients straight to your door with easy-to-follow recipe cards and a ton of variety when it comes to meals to choose from. I've tried their vegetarian meals, low-calorie meals, and when I'm trying to spend less time in the kitchen, they have quick and easy meals that I can get done in about 20 minutes. There's total flexibility when it comes to your deliveries too, whether you're gonna be out of town or you just have other dinner plans. It's easy to skip weeks and change delivery dates right on the app. And HelloFresh is for more than just dinner too. You can use it to stock up on snacks, desserts, quick lunches, and breakfasts. And if you want to take advantage of the best deal that I've ever offered before, go to HelloFresh.com and use my promo code I'mALittleStinker21 for 21 free meals plus free shipping. Link in description. Thank you so much to HelloFresh for sponsoring today's video.
My box is here.
It's a Christmas miracle.
The club isn't the best place to find a love.
Remember the first time you ever went to an arcade and you saw all the incredible, life-changing prizes available and your mind started running wild with possibilities? Shit, all right. I'll take the electric guitar, the skateboard, the PlayStation 2, 1,000 Tootsie Rolls, that stuffed animal that's taller than me. Hey Toots, would you mind wrapping him up in plastic for me? I'll wet the bed. And then 2 hours and $47 later, you realize you've only earned enough tickets to buy one whoopee cushion? Well, not to brag or anything, but I'm old as fuck now. And I'm pretty good at games, or at least better than I used to be. So for this video, I decided to test out an idea that I've wanted to do basically my whole life. I want to find out if you can profit at an arcade. If I just play the one game I'm best at over and over and over again, can I ultimately earn a prize that's worth more than the amount of money that I spent on the tokens. I didn't need to say all that. You read the title, you know what I'm gonna do. So I headed to the second most touristy part of Orlando, Florida, to a place called Main Event, which is somewhere in between Dave & Buster's and Chuck E. Cheese. In spirit, I should say. Geographically speaking, Dave & Buster's is in the middle. This place has everything. Bowling, laser tag, a weird obstacle course hanging from the ceiling. But I don't have time for any of that right now. The reason I dragged my wife here at 3 p.m. on a Friday is to figure out the most efficient game to play and the best prize to buy. Now, this isn't like the old days anymore where you gotta lug around a 75-pound bucket of tokens. The first thing you do here is preload cash onto a fun card, which holds all of your credits and then also the points you earn from the game. And I gotta say, I immediately got overwhelmed from the onslaught of numbers. Okay, so 200 credits is not $40. It's $35, and 300 credits should be, quite frankly, $60, but it's not, it's only $50. And everyone keeps saying that 500 credits costs $100. It doesn't, it's only $75. You save $25 when you buy that, which you can use to buy 140 credits, which is actually $28. And plus, I don't know what any of that means. If I buy this one, does that mean I can play 200 games? No. Most games cost anywhere between 7.5 and 8.5 credits, which are such confusing numbers to keep track of. Why even include a decimal at all? Who thought of this? The last time I came here in 2019, I remember each machine just telling you how much it cost in terms of dollars. But if I had to guess, I'd say they changed it to be purposely confusing so you don't realize how much money you're actually blowing through with every passing game. It's kind of like how if I saw a Fortnite skin that said, this costs $20, I would be like, hell no. I'm not spending $20 on this. I'm gonna buy $20 worth of V-Bucks because then the costume is free. As with most arcades, there are pretty much 3 types of games here. There are the fun ones like Basketball Connect 4, Air Hockey, Flappy Bird but big. Typically these are the ones you earn the least amount of points for playing, but if you're just here to have a good time, that doesn't matter. Then there's the luck-based games, which can, in theory, earn you a whole bunch of tickets, but you have no control over that because it's essentially just a giant slot machine with SpongeBob on it. And then lastly, there are skill-based games where technically you could earn the jackpot every time. The only thing stopping you from doing so is your own ability. The only downside is they're usually tedious and stressful and the least fun options out of all the games in the arcade. So in other words, they're perfect for this video. Let me tell you, I was ecstatic when I walked in and saw that they still had this ball cup game. This is the machine I had in mind when I was planning this video because I used to abuse the hell out of this. While the rest of my friends were playing skee ball and enjoying themselves, I was just standing on this machine for 1 whole hour, hoping to earn the best prize out of the group. See, I was playing the long game. Sure, maybe you guys had more fun that night because you got to play Mario Olympics and Vin Diesel Simulator, but I get to have this forever. So, who actually came out on top? Anyways, back to the ball game. So the goal with this is to get all 50 balls into these spinning cups without losing any of them, and you have to do so before time runs out. You really gotta try to be perfect with this one because the difference between getting 49 balls and getting all 50 is massive. But once you get the rhythm down, it's possible to start stacking jackpots and become the queen of the arcade. When I started out though, I was blowing through tries so fast. I'd started sweating immediately. I got very tense and nervous. I think the pressure of the video was mounting on me. And every time I would be just 1 ball away from the jackpot, the disappointment and frustration would hit me like a ton of bricks. Or a ton of feathers. They both weigh the same. But I managed to calm myself down, gain my composure, and on my 10th try, I did it. Gimme that jackpot, baby. That'll be 711 points, please.
I love you now.
Now I just gotta stand here for 4 minutes while the machine counts up all my points one at a time for some reason. Why does this take so long? Is there a little guy in there trying to count them up by hand? Just use a calculator, dude. It's like they're trying to discourage you from winning the jackpots by making them inconvenient. Well, while we're waiting for that, I do just want to say, unironically, I was so relieved when I won this. I think I had built this video up so much in my head over the past couple years, and I just felt it all falling apart before my eyes. When I started losing again and again and again, I started to freak out and think, did they make the game harder? Or worse, am I just dumb now? Am I gonna have to go to Chuck E. Cheese? They'll never let me in there. I'm almost 30. Oh, hey, my points are done. With the satisfaction of one, that's right, a single win in my belt, I decided to just enjoy the rest of my night with Amanda, knowing I was gonna have to come here by myself later in the week anyway. We went bowling for the first time in about 5 years, which reminded me that I am possibly the worst bowler in the entire world, including babies. I think a baby would do better than I did. The second game though, I was like, wait, who are we trying to fool by doing regular mode? Let me just throw the bumpers up and then we'll have way more fun. Just kidding, I sucked at that too. Then we ate dinner, which was, it was fine. There's just something about cubed meat that makes me feel like I'm being given my rations for the day. When we were done eating, I decided to try out a few other games, but I quickly came to the conclusion that nothing was going to be as productive or efficient as Quick Draw. I should probably talk about the prizes, because that's the other thing I have to figure out. The single most expensive item in here is, for some reason, a minion named Turbo Dave. Just below that are some random kitchen appliances, some extremely cheap looking electronics, you know, the kind of headphones you buy for $3 at a CVS checkout line and they stop working before you even make it back to your car. There's a bunch of vlogging and podcasting gear. Then they've got a few plushies, which range from Among Us to terrifying. A fake wad of gum, you know, for pranks. And then finally, a whole bunch of candy that you throw in when you don't have very many points left. I always find it interesting to see how they price these things because it's not like there's a 1-to-1 ratio of points to dollars. Like, I don't think that the minion on a hoverboard is worth 14 Marvel mugs or 400 blow pops, but I'm not in charge of an arcade.
All right, babe, let's see that haul. That's just what Amanda got with her entree and tickets. I found out you can save your points for up to 5 years. I don't think I'm gonna be saving them that long, but I am gonna come back in a couple days. I've got about 1,700 points stocked up. $37 in, I believe. So yeah, not off to a great start in terms of profiting, but I may have discovered a loophole. You see, anytime you buy something at Main Event, they give you the option to fill out a survey on their website in exchange for a free 30-minute game card. If I could stand on this machine for 30 straight minutes, I could win thousands of tickets without having to spend even $1 more. It's the perfect plan. So I headed back to the second most touristy part of Orlando, and I swiped my card again, and I dropped those balls. And turns out you don't actually get any points from the free plays. So, 'twas not the perfect plan. But I still had fun. Not that that matters for this video. I did get to play possibly the funniest game of Deal or No Deal in its entire history. Obviously, I couldn't risk ending up with only one ticket, so I decided to accept his offer of one ticket. Anyway, after farting around for half an hour, I decided to just suck it up, spend another $35, and I headed back to my favorite stress game. Took me a few tries to get back into the swing of things, but on my 5th game, I won the jackpot. Then 3 games later, I won it again, and 2 games later, I won it again, and at this point, no one could stop me. I won twice in a row, then 3 times, then 4 times before capping my streak off at 5 consecutive jackpots. If this isn't poggers, then I don't know what is. Grandma, if you're watching this, poggers is a gaming term for when someone does a good job. So, can you tell Grandpa too? Also, do you like how nervous I look filming all of these shots? I felt like the biggest idiot every time I picked up my phone to record myself winning this stupid game. The thought of someone watching me be proud of this is so embarrassing. Just looking at me from across the room like, does this guy have a job? It's Wednesday, go home. Well, sorry to break it to you, person I made up in my head, but this is my job now. The arcade is my office, and I'm gonna give myself a raise. Just when I could feel myself starting to get a little bit too cocky, the universe sent another obstacle my way. Maximum payout? So now I'm getting punished for being too good at the game? At this point, I'm
pissed. At least warn me ahead of time when I'm getting close. Like, hey, you might want to slow down there, big guy. This machine's almost empty. Also, what? You ran out of virtual tickets? Just make more of them. I thought about it, and I think this might be why they count up your points so slowly. So that by the time they've arbitrarily decided to stop giving you points, you've already spent $8 more on the machine, all for nothing. I even had to watch them count up my unawarded tickets one by one, and at this point, you're just taunting me. Anyway, when the dust finally settled, I had lost about 1.5 jackpots. Very upsetting, not gonna lie, but I don't think this completely ruins my plan. I'm pretty sure this is only a temporary limit. I think it's just there to keep you from hogging one machine during peak hours, which is fair, by the way. If I had a line of kids behind me waiting for their turn and I was just like, sorry, I'm making a video, that would be pretty selfish. But I came here in the middle of a school day and there was nary a child in sight. Since I wasn't sure if I'd ever have this many points at once again, I decided to cash out on day 2 and buy myself the hot dog toaster I had my eyes on from the moment I walked in the room.
Now, I'm not sure I would say that this is the best day of my life, but it's definitely in the top 5. I actually feel kind of bad because I had to get one of the employees to not only grab a ladder from the storage room, but also get like a special key to unlock the high value prize section. And he seemed really confused. I was hoping he might be like, oh, that's funny, you got the hot dog toaster. No one's ever redeemed this before. But I don't think he really said more than 2 words. All right, babe, I know you have a long day at work. Close your eyes. I know work's been crazy lately, but I have something for you. Open your eyes.
Thanks.
It's not for you.
If I open it and there's like crumbs in it, I'm gonna laugh.
I'm gonna cry. Oh, it's smiling at us.
Was that a thing? Was hot dog toasters
I doubt it. All my baby boomers in the chat, sound off. Was hot dog toasters a thing? Let me know.
With enough credits left to play 9 more games of Quick Drop, I headed into day 3 with a very clear goal in mind. From all the Googling I've done, I'm pretty sure this Marvel mug has the best points to potential resale value ratio of all of the redeemable items here. If each attempt cost me about $2, and I think I could reasonably sell this mug for $10, that means out of 5 tries, I only need to get 2 jackpots to turn a profit. If I get really lucky and win 5 jackpots in a row like I did yesterday, then I'd have enough for 3 mugs, at which point I could be potentially making a $20 profit. And so on and so forth until I've sold 1 mug to every human being on the face of the planet, and I'll finally have enough money to buy my own private island that no one's invited to. Also, fine, I'll explain my strategy with the game so you too can try to win at this specific machine in Orlando, Florida. The secret is to just drop 4 balls at a time. That's pretty much it. They even show you that in the little tutorial video that plays, and yet I still see so many people try to drop all 50 balls in 1 second like they're in a hurry to lose. If you drop exactly 4 balls every spin, which is pretty easy to do, you will end up with 48 out of the 50 balls with the time that you are given. That means at some point during the 12 turns, you only have to drop 1 extra ball twice to end up with 50. Personally, I like to get those 5th balls out of the way early so I know how hard I need to focus for the rest of the game, but if you'd rather save them for the end because you'll have the rhythm down at that point, I can't blame you. I'm just impressed that you flew all the way to Orlando to play this game. As usual, I got off to a bit of a shaky start. Probably didn't help that I forgot to take my Tom Brady brain pills like I did on day 2. I hope they don't consider that an illegal substance here, and it's not like the arcade equivalent of steroids in baseball. But after a few tries, I was able to win the massive jackpot that everybody else had graciously accrued for me. You see, every time someone loses this game, the jackpot goes up by 1 and resets when someone wins. So this means there had been about 300 losses in a row, and I got to benefit from that. That's another variable to throw into the math here, but even without that, 600 points is nothing to sneeze at. Anyway, after 3 days of mashing 1 button a million times and a hot dog toaster already sitting pretty in my kitchen, I headed to get my reward. Lucky for me, I got to ask the same guy from yesterday for help grabbing the LED sign that was just out of my reach. Instead of using a ladder though, he just kind of climbed on top of the shelves, and I really admired the creativity. Am I gonna somehow profit off of this sign? No. But to me, having a man cave that's open all day, every day is priceless. Oh, also I grabbed the mug that I came here for. I keep getting distracted by funnier prizes. As much as I wanted to race home and enjoy a celebratory cup of decaf coffee out of my new mug, it was time to get down to business. And I threw that bad boy up on the world's worst commerce website, Facebook Marketplace, and I waited and waited and waited. And just when I was starting to lose hope, my friend Cody offered to buy it from me with real American money. Sorry for the abrupt exit, Cody, but I had to rush home and count my earnings.
10.
I couldn't believe my success. I earned enough points to buy that mug with one game of Quick Drop. These kind of profit margins are unheard of. Jeff Bezos who? There's a new guy in town. Why did I even bother going to community college for 8 months when I could have been investing that tuition money into the school of video games? Let's go ahead and break down the numbers, shall we? So I don't have a regular dry erase board, so this calendar is gonna have to do. Day 1, we spent $37. I still don't know why it was 37 and not 35. I guess the card itself, it cost $2 because when I refilled it, it was exactly 35 the next day, but I don't fucking know. We also spent $48 on bowling and $70 on food and drinks, but that doesn't count. That's not part of it. I'm just saying that that's what we did. Okay, but $72 spent on game credits, and here is what we earned. Number 1, a state-of-the-art hot dog toaster, a relic of simpler times, a rare and priceless artifact that is currently being sold on Amazon for $25. But let's say I was gonna buy that anyway, and in doing so, I saved $25, which is almost like earning $25, because penny saved, penny earned. Benjamin Franklin? Last I heard, he's the guy who electrocuted himself on purpose, so I think he knows a thing or two about math. We also got the man cave sign, and again, let's say I was gonna buy that anyway. Well, currently, that's being sold on eBay for an average of about $40. At less than 2,000 points, that's a bargain. If you're wondering why I didn't just try to sell that one instead, that's because I didn't think anyone would buy it. But maybe I'm wrong about that. Finally, of course, we have the mug, which I sold for $10. Now, if you have a calculator at home and you're playing along, you may have noticed that this number is bigger than this number. I'm trying to think if there's a word for that, like a math word, you know, for when you make more money than you spend on something. What's the term again? Oh, that's right, I think it's called a profit. And that's not even mentioning the fact that I practically threw away half my tickets on day 1, and the machine stole over 900 points from me on day 2, and I forgot to get my parking validated on day 3, so I had to pay for that myself. Also, I guess if you factor in like gas and stuff, because I had to drive a lot, that's probably another like $15. You know what, on second thought, I think we're just gonna call that part a wash. I made a $3 profit, and that is a success. So to answer the question of can you profit at an arcade, the answer is technically yes. Obviously, it depends on which arcade you're at, what prizes they have, if there's a machine that you can win consistently. But for this specific ball drop machine, I have learned that if I just win jackpots over and over and over again, making sure to take breaks so I don't hit the payout limit, I can absolutely redeem my points on something that I would have wanted to buy anyway and save a few bucks in the process. Am I gonna somehow turn this into a full-time job? You never know. I mean, I would pretty much be actively crashing the blue Marvel mug market by increasing the supply so much. Absolute best case scenario, I could see myself locking in minimum wage, but I would run out of people to sell mugs to eventually. Or before any of that happens, the arcade might just run out of them, or they'll catch on to what I'm doing and nerf the machine I like, or raise the price of the prizes, or put a photo of my face on the wall that says, "Do not let this guy play Quick Drop, he is bleeding us dry." I guess if I had to pick one thing that I learned in this video, it's that unless you have a concrete plan going into it and you've already done the math, you're probably only going to lose money at an arcade. Also, don't do what I almost did in this video and get really excited by the idea of selling something for a profit, because I almost got like a bunch of mugs before even seeing if they would sell, and then I barely sold one of them. Remember, the value of a product is only what someone is willing to pay for it. This isn't RuneScape. I can't just throw my Avengers mug into the Grand Exchange and get a bunch of gold coins for it. I have to use Facebook Marketplace, and Facebook Marketplace is the worst. Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr., the greatest quarterback of all time. He's won 7 Super Bowls, set almost every imaginable passing record, and has made probably over $1 million or something like that. But what I find truly interesting about Tom's story is that he isn't that special of an athlete. It's not like he can throw the ball further than anyone else, and he's probably the slowest player on every team he's ever been on. Giannis Antetokounmpo is superhuman. JJ Watt looks like if a muscle came to life and started talking. But on the surface, Tom just kind of looks like a guy. In fact, he's so unassuming as an athlete that almost 200 people were picked ahead of him the year he was drafted. And he played longer than every single one of them. In many ways, he got better as he got older. His face changed shape like 6 times. Everything he's doing defies all logic. So what the hell is his secret? Is he a cyborg? A time traveler? Was he an experiment created in some kind of football laboratory? Or is all of his success attributed to his famously specific diet? This dude hasn't had sugar in like 14 years. No wonder he's able to pull off the impossible. I had a toaster strudel for breakfast and now my tummy hurts. But why am I making this video? Well, because a few days ago on February 1st, Tom Brady finally retired from the NFL, which means someone has to take his place. And that's where I come in. Slightly above average height? Check. Total underdog story? Check. Lives within reasonable driving distance of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers practice facility? Check. And just like Tom, everything I do for my son. My son is 4 inches tall, he lives in this box, and as of 1 minute ago, he's now available for purchase for a limited time at youtooz.com. But if I'm gonna become the new starting quarterback of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I'll need to eat like Tom. I'll need to train like Tom. At least for about a month. That should do it. So starting on February 14th, the day after the Super Bowl, because I'm probably gonna eat a lot of crap that night, I will begin my transformation. But first, I have to prepare. Like a lot of mega popular athletes do, Sweet Thomas has very much turned his identity into a brand. It's called the TB12 method. He has 2 books about it. He has his own recipes, his own workout gear and supplements and hats and podcasts and training centers and Vital Fit Tart Cherry. Congrats, Tom. While this chapter is closing, the best is yet to come. You know, I hate to say it, but I don't think that's true. Some people just peak early in life. There's nothing wrong with that. You think anyone's gonna give a shit about me in 20 years? Hell no. I gotta savor this while I can. So this says get started, but then there's so much shit here that I don't even know where to begin. Oh wait. Yeah, I do. I'm getting the Big Tom. Tom Brady drinks 200 to 300 ounces of water on active days. Jesus Christ. I feel like I'm gonna have to get a second bladder surgically inserted into my body if I drink this much water. Oh, here we go. They have starter packs. Here's what people are saying. But it's not customer testimony, it's just their employees. No biases here. Guys, people have been raving about my YouTube videos. Don't believe me? Just ask my mom. You know, I am actually wondering what Brian thinks.
Hey everyone, Brian Hart here, body coach down in Tampa Bay. By far my favorite product that TB12 has is the TB12 electrolytes. Helps me stay hydrated, gives me energy, prevents muscle cramping, tastes great.
Does it? I saw that eye roll. Believe me, this stuff is awesome.
TB12 plant-based protein,
right.
TB12 omega.
Okay.
One of the products that I really loved recently is the TB12 sleep. And I don't really struggle to sleep or go to sleep.
This stuff is amazing. I don't need it, and I've never actually taken it before, but Tom said I had to throw in a 4th thing, and so I just picked one randomly.
I'll wake up every morning feeling awesome after I take that TB12 sleep.
Yeah, I can tell. You're like a ball of energy.
Feel free to go to tb12sports.com.
What a coincidence. That's a website I was already on. Oh, I guess I should probably just get the Tom pack. Sorry, Brian. In his honor, I will at least get his favorite flavor of electrolytes, and I will think about you every time I drink them. Okay. So it's $200, and that's just the first page. Gonna be another $216 just for the equipment. That at least seems more reasonable. What was the other one? Vitamins and protein powder. And I'm supposed to buy that every month? Well, it's a good thing I'm only doing this for one. Oh, you have to subscribe to it? But what if I don't want to? Why is it $600? I got the Tom pack. The starter home gym pack should be $425, and it is $600. What the fuck, Tom? I mean, yeah, I have the water bottle in here too, but that's only $65. Oh, I see. Once you go to check out, they sneakily raise the price of the exercise equipment by $111. That's cool. No, I get it. I would do the same thing if I was the worst. You know what, though? I have to suck it up. I'm trying to change my life here. I want to live to be 300 years old, and you can't put a price on that. So I guess I'm already out $600, and I haven't even bought any food yet. It's funny, I've always heard the main criticism of the TB12 brand is that it's overly expensive and inaccessible to the average person, but I actually think we're off to a great start. Oh my God, I still have to buy the book. I almost forgot. They're sold out on the website, so I have to settle for an acceptable used copy from Amazon. Would I like to spend half of that on a new copy? Of course I would. But then I won't get it for a month, and I'm trying to start this diet in a few days. What are you gonna do? Before I forget, I should also go ahead and cancel my subscriptions while I'm here. Luckily, they've made it as difficult as possible by making you do one at a time. Hello. My first impression when I saw this in front of my door was that this box is way bigger than I thought it would be. And then I remembered I bought the Big Tom. So I'm picturing that that's pretty much taking up most of the space. It's just like a giant fat water bottle, and then everything else is just pushed into the corner. Forgot my box cutter. I'll be right back. Best thing about the moon pod is how easy it is to get up. Sorry about that. There's the Big Tom. There it is. Wow, these are fancy. Glass jars. Everything's kind of dusty, which is fun. Oh. Because this popped open and there's very expensive protein dust all over this box. And I got my electrolyte, my vibrating pliability sphere. So that's all the stuff that I put in my body. Now for what I put my body on top of. To be honest, I kind of blindly just bought the starter kit. I didn't really look at what was in it. I just assumed, you know, this is good for Tom, it's good for me. But I did end up doubling up on water bottles, and I don't know what anything else is. Don't know why they gave me a little bag when clearly that's not big enough to put all this stuff in. I got a vibrating pliability sphere and also a vibrating pliability roller. Lots of different shapes in which I can vibrate. This is just like a phone stand that they threw in here. Don't know what I was expecting. It's gonna be a journey figuring out what to do with all this crap. So we got some pills to pop here. Thanks, Tom, for that. You've got sleep, which is pretty self-explanatory. I'll try this once, but I'm probably not gonna take this every night because I don't like melatonin. It makes me feel weird and gives me really crazy dreams, and I don't want that. But then you've got the other two. This one is like brain pills, daily support for mind, body, performance, and then the other one is for like joint support. But this is one I'm really intrigued by. For like a year, I used to take something called Alpha Brain, and I'm pretty sure it was just a placebo, but I would take it every time I filmed or wrote anything, and I felt like it helped, like I could think more clearly, but again, it might have just been I told myself that I would be more focused, and then I was more focused, so who's to say? But this shit was personally engineered by the greatest quarterback of all time, and if anyone knows something about brain performance, it's Tom Brady. So let's see what happens. I don't know, I didn't really, whoa! What's going on? I have so many thoughts. I think I'm finally using 100% of my brain, just like Bradley Cooper in that Limitless movie. Oh my God, the ideas. I can't stop them. Hey, sorry to bother you. I know you're at work right now, but I had to call you. I just thought of a new invention. Silent ice. It's just like regular ice, but it doesn't make any noise. I did it. I finally finished my book. Wow, what a productive day. I even managed to move my couch into the middle of the room like I've been meaning to. Well, I guess I'll go ahead and hit the hay. Never mind, it has been 4 minutes. I don't really know what to say about the supplements because I've taken them a bunch now and I kind of feel the same, but I've also been taking multivitamins every day for several years, and those don't make me feel any different. So does that mean I should stop taking them? It's hard to judge something that is supposed to have this like silent effect on your body. So they may not actually do anything, but at least they're very expensive. The best thing about them though is that they don't taste like anything, because you're also supposed to drink these electrolytes every day, multiple times a day. First thing you do when you wake up. I excitedly tried the lemon one first, and let me just tell you, it is one of the grossest things I've ever tasted in my life. Tastes great. It doesn't taste so much like lemonade as it does lemon pledge. I did actually just notice today that they also sent me the same thing but in packet form. So I'm pretty sure there's like a powder instead of something that's already a liquid. Maybe that'll make it taste better. Oh, thank God. Okay, this is way better. This is a huge relief because drinking electrolytes is very much part of Tom's daily routine, and I physically was not able to drink the other one. It was so gross. And it's not like, oh, it doesn't taste like Gatorade. This isn't very good. I don't need it to taste like Gatorade. I don't need it to taste sweet. Honestly, I don't need it to taste like anything. Good thing they also have one called unflavored. This has no flavor. It's just gonna go in my water. I'm not even gonna notice it's there. It's just gonna taste like nothing, right? No, this shit just tastes like salt. I'm just relieved that a lot of the reviews say the same thing and I'm not the only one going crazy here. This person said it tasted like watered down cough syrup. That's a good description. I love Tom, but I threw away the electrolytes. Terrible taste. The electrolytes did not agree with me, and I agree with you. I think when I run out of these packets, I'll just buy a different brand of electrolytes and hope they don't also taste like shit. As previously discussed, Tom Brady loves water. You think this is a lot? This jug that weighs almost 5 pounds when full? Well, he drinks 5 of these every day. My goal for this has been to at least drink 3 of these a day, because that's still on the low end of the spectrum. And 3 a day is doable, but it's also a lot. There are a few things that I don't love about the water bottle. For one, it takes about 90 seconds for me to fill it up all the way because it's so goddamn big. It's also so heavy and bulky that you need to use 2 hands to drink out of it, and it makes you look like a baby drinking out of a sippy cup. It's too wide to fit in a cup holder, so it kind of just jostles around in my car as I drive. And unless it's more than halfway full, I can't drink out of it while I drive without it hitting the ceiling. But do you think I'm gonna ever drive somewhere without having a little beverage in my car? Hell no. But all of that pales in comparison to the worst thing about drinking this much water, which is that I now pee roughly 600 times per day. Sometimes I'll just drink and pee at the same time because I know I'm gonna have to do it in 5 minutes anyway. It really makes me mad that Amanda and I thought it would be funny to have the Pledge of Allegiance in our guest bathroom, but now the joke's on me because I have to recite it every time I go in there. I did the math and I don't think I've gone an entire 2-hour period without having to go to the bathroom. And that made me realize that Tom Brady pees his pants. It's not like they have a bathroom on the sideline. It's not like you can call a timeout to do a potty break. This legend, this sports hero, has been running around on the field with piss in his uniform. Gross! I looked up to you, man. Anyway, sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but someone had to say something. This book's not too crazy. A lot of the stuff I had heard before, like how he was born on a spaceship and came out the womb holding a football. But the thing that's weird about this is, like, this is supposed to be the Tom Brady Bible. But there are things I've read online about him that contradict some of the stuff I've read in here. Like, apparently he doesn't eat nightshades, peppers, tomatoes, but then there's recipes in here that include those things. He's famously on a plant-based diet, but almost all of the recipes have meat in them. So maybe this book is not as all-encompassing as I hoped. It might be because they didn't want to include every restriction in here so as to not scare people off. Or maybe it's that some of the things Tom Brady believes in aren't actually backed up by science, so they're like, hey, just because Tom does that doesn't mean you have to too. You know, I've read a bunch of books like this before. A bunch. I've read like 2 books like this before. And the funny thing is, I feel like I always agree with almost everything they say. I just forget to actually do it. We all have one body and one life, and you should make it a priority to treat that body and life as respectfully as possible. And it's like, of course, What a beautiful mindset. Of course, I'm going to only eat the healthiest foods I can so my body can function as healthily and as prosperously as possible. And oh my God, is it 1 a.m. already? I'm gonna have a snack. Part of the reason I wanted to make this video is just to force myself to do it. I'm so bad at self-discipline, but I'm really good at making excuses. Like, I've had a long day today. I deserve this. I deserve to go to Twisty Treat. Twisty Treat is a restaurant shaped like ice cream because they sell ice cream. Obviously, life would be really fucking boring if you never ate anything fun, but there has to be a balance to it. One that I rarely achieve. But one thing I've realized as an adult is that if I don't hold myself accountable, no one else will, because it's not their responsibility, it's mine. I have to do it, so I will do it. So let's start off with what you're not allowed to eat. You're not allowed to have dairy, or bread, or fast food, or soda, or things with added sugar, or overly processed foods that have a bunch of preservatives. Let me tell you the betrayal I felt when I found out these snap peas aren't actually healthy at all. They're not even real peas, they're just cleverly engineered to look like them. Everything is always too good to be true. Whatever, I'm not mad. You can have alcohol, but in extreme moderation, and I just went ahead and didn't have any because beer makes me want pizza. You can only have a little bit of caffeine, which thankfully wasn't much of a change for me. Something happened a couple years ago, and ever since then I've had an extremely low tolerance to caffeine, even though I drink coffee every single day. But I usually don't even finish 1 cup because I know if I drink it all, I'm gonna get all jittery and probably end up with a headache. You know what my Starbucks order is? I get a venti cold brew and then slowly drink it over the course of 4 days. That's not a joke, that's just my life. As far as what you are supposed to eat, it's pretty much a lot of vegetables all the time. Mostly just vegetables, actually. And you have to buy organic produce, preferably sourced locally, otherwise Tom will come to your house and kill you. According to the book, it's because non-organic food tends to have less nutrients in it, and also when food has to travel really far, it loses nutrients. I don't know how true that is, but man, was it depressing to have to ignore all the regular fruit that was on sale so I could get the special version of it. So I'll get to the meals themselves in a little bit, but there were 2 things that I've eaten every single day. Number 1, I have a smoothie with spinach and blueberries and most of a banana and almond butter and Tom powder and Greek yogurt and almond milk. These I don't mind at all. They taste really good and they fill me up for a few hours. I actually used to make smoothies like this all the time until one day our blender broke, and instead of buying a new one, I was just like, all right, well, guess I'm not doing that anymore. The hardest thing about these smoothies is that you always run out of different ingredients at different times. And it's like, am I really gonna go to the store right now just to get blueberries? For the sake of this video, yes. Yes, I am. The other thing I get to eat every single day is homemade guacamole. This is, for some reason, an absolute staple of the TB12 diet. Well, it's a good thing finding perfectly ripe avocados every single day isn't like hard to do or anything. Otherwise, this would be really annoying. For me, this was the first major example of this diet being 100 times more doable if you have someone else go buy ingredients and prepare food for you. Tom's not going to the grocery store. He throws a few footballs around and then yells, "Feed me," and an army of TB12 assistants come to shovel kale into his mouth. Now, if you're like me, you might be thinking, guacamole every day? That sounds awesome. But remember, you can't eat them with chips. That would be too easy. So usually I just add it to whatever meal I'm eating, or I'll dip celery or carrots into it and scarf it down that way. As far as grocery trips go, I've been doing them a lot. Basically every 2 to 4 days. I probably could have consolidated some of these trips, but I get overwhelmed when my grocery list is way too long, so I would split it up into smaller trips and only get like 1 or 2 meals at a time. And I will say the meals in this book are all pretty good. This salad is stupidly easy to make, so that's been a go-to for me. The cauliflower you make with this salmon is fucking great, so I don't even mind the fact that you have to eat like 12 pounds of it every time. And the chicken and lentils recipe is really good too, although the Dijon mustard flavor can be a little bit much when you're having leftovers, and at that point, it has soaked into every single ingredient. I even got to make my own hummus. That was pretty fun. So really, I have almost nothing but good things to say about all of these recipes, except there is the one.
I tried making one of Tom's famous fish taco bowls and everything went wrong. The cod completely fell apart as I was trying to cook it, so it was basically ground fish. The sauce was way too runny and just tasted like sesame seeds. The beans were all wet. The worst part is that it's been about 14 hours and the whole house smells like fish. Still. To make my life a little bit easier, I have been ordering the same meal prep service that I've used for a while now. Only where before I was mostly doing it out of convenience, now I have to make sure I'm pretty much only eating chicken and vegetables or fish and vegetables. This takes care of 5 lunches a week, so I only have to worry about breakfast and dinner and then what I'm gonna eat on the weekends. I would say my biggest takeaway so far is that what you do eat is a lot more important than what you don't eat. I've had a couple of 2 or 3 day stretches in here where I don't really have the energy to cook, so then I don't eat enough, so then I don't have any energy, so then I don't cook any food. It's not enough to just not eat sugar. Just because I'm not eating McDonald's doesn't mean I'm doing a good job or being healthy. I need to have like a checklist of things that I do eat every single day. Otherwise, it's inevitable that I end up going crazy one night and eating half a block of cheese at 1 a.m. Am I saying that because that's what I did last night? Yes. But I'm not gonna beat myself up over it. I'm just gonna go outside and spike some footballs and get right back on track. So I'm about 2 weeks into eating like Tom Brady, and I can't say a lot has changed. I did notice that I've started floating. I don't really know how I'm doing it. I just know that whenever I go to walk somewhere, I am now levitating off the ground. If I had to guess, I would assume that my body has simply transcended past the need for gravity, which is cool. I don't think I used to be able to do that. At least not that I remember. I love how this box they gave me is just filled to the brim with crap, and yet there's no instruction manual of any kind. I don't know what any of this stuff does. I mean, I know what this bag does. I've used a bag before. So I was looking at some of the exercises in the book, and I kept getting confused on like, okay, I see that you're supposed to pull on the rope, but what is the rope attached to? And the photos don't help because it sort of just fades off into the void. But I realized one of the things in here was this like door strap. So I should be able to strap this to my door and then connect things to it, hopefully without breaking the door in the process. The issue with this for me though is most of the doors in my house, there's not a lot of room in front of them to maneuver and do things. So I'm gonna have to be doing most of my workouts in my laundry room. I'm realizing maybe I didn't put the camera in the right spot for this because I did the whole thing and I don't think you could see any of it. All right, looks pretty good, I think. Still worried this is somehow gonna break my door? If it does, I'll just ask Tom to buy me a new one. I now have something else I'm deathly afraid of, which is that while I'm doing one of these exercises, the back will snap, propel forward into the back of my head, and I will immediately die. The good news is if that does happen, I will at least get it on camera. I should probably clue you in on what's going on here. So something that seems to be unique to Tom's workout is his emphasis on pliability. And I'll let him explain it for me.
Pliability is at the core of the TB12 lifestyle. Use a TB12 vibrating pliability roller or sphere to target the muscle groups you're using.
So basically before and after every workout, I gotta roll this thing all over my muscles.
There are 2 parts to pliability. Active muscle work, active muscle work, active muscle work.
This is how you play football. Finally, with just a few days left, having transformed into the best shape of my adult life, which unfortunately does not mean anything, it's time to hit the field. Hi, my name's Drew Gooden. I'm over 4 feet tall, and this is my audition for the role of quarterback. Dear Roger Goodell, President of Football, I am politely demanding that you have me signed to one or all NFL teams as soon as possible. Obviously, my talent and positional versatility should speak for themselves, but I also have other attributes I can bring to the table that will make me instantly marketable as the new face of the league. Number 1, I'm charitable. When this crazed fan came up to me and demanded my attention, I didn't throw 100 footballs at her face until she went away, even though I wanted to. I took the time to take multiple photos with her, a memory I'm sure she'll treasure forever. Reason number 2, I'm already friends with several Hall of Fame athletes like Rob Gronkowski, Jeff Gordon, and Air Bud.
from the movie Air Bud. I believe these connections will help me thrive in the NFL. After all, it's a relationship game, not a football game. Reason number 3, I think I could do a touchdown dance. And the final and most important reason why I should be immediately given a lifetime contract is that I am desperate for money. Over the past month, I have spent all of my life savings trying to do the Tom Brady diet, and now my house is being foreclosed. Not to be nosy or anything, but I saw how much you're giving some of these other guys, and I decided, can I have some? I'll do any position, I'll even be punter. Please let me play. Anyway, I hope you consider me for the role of quarterback. Have a wonderful day. What the fuck? You're telling me I lost 5 pounds and felt great for a month and I have nothing to show for it because I can't even play professional football?
I'll get you, Tom.
Ooh, I just know for a fact that I am the person most negatively affected by this. Okay, so maybe I am the person second most negatively affected by this. So I'm gonna break down my final thoughts on this by answering 2 questions. Number 1, is the TB12 diet good? Yeah, with the exception of the one disaster, all the meals were tasty and they got easier to prepare the more I made them. And a lot of the restrictions are easier to pull off than it seemed at first, as long as you don't think about what you're missing out on. Like, it's really daunting when you start off and you think, oh man, I can't have this or this or this. But then you get going and you're just focusing on the food that you are making and you realize it's been 2 weeks since you thought about pizza. I'm proud to say I only cracked twice. There was the cheese incident, and I also went to Taco Bell one day because I was kind of going through it. But I think it's good to at least have one meal every once in a while that you can look forward to. Otherwise, you're gonna lose motivation pretty fast. In hindsight, yeah, maybe I should have swung for something better than a 5-layer burrito, but at the time, it's all I could think about. Other than that, the meals were all just good enough to keep me from daydreaming about junk food. But the other question is, given the financial and time investment necessary to pull this diet off, how feasible is it? And that's a little bit trickier. It would be dumb of me to ignore the obvious advantage that I had while doing this, which is that I was able to put my job on hold for a while by turning the diet into my job. And even still, there were days where I'm like, fuck, it's 5 o'clock already? I don't want to cook. I just made food yesterday and now I gotta do it again? When will it end? And I tried to imagine what it would have been like to try to do this back when I had a 45-minute commute to my carpentry job, where I'd be lucky to get home before 6 o'clock and I'm tired and I'm sore and now I have to prepare this complicated ass meal. And whoops, our broccoli went bad. Should I go to Publix? No, I'm gonna go to Chipotle for the 3rd day in a row. You know what would be nice? If there were more convenient, healthy food options. The best I could find around me is a place called Fresh Kitchen, and it's pretty good, don't get me wrong, but the bowls are like $15. Also, I don't even know if that place is healthy. Did you know that restaurants aren't required to provide nutritional information unless they have over 20 locations? I didn't know that till I tried to look it up. And yeah, you can always drive through somewhere to get a fast food salad, but not only do I not want to eat salad every day, but a lot of the time, the salads have more calories than the regular food that they sell. Without a doubt, the best way to follow the TB12 diet is to have multiple fresh cooked meals every single day. And the easiest way to do that is to pay someone to cook them for you. But I'm not gonna do that, and you're not gonna do that, so who the fuck is gonna do that? Following this diet is possible, but it's expensive and it's time consuming, and you have to sacrifice a lot of convenience in order to make it work. And just like with all diets, you have to be patient. If you're hoping to lose weight, it could take 2 weeks before you even move the needle at all. So really, in the short term, there are almost no noticeable differences. Like, I remember my dad asking me after a couple weeks how I felt, and I thought about it, and I was like, just kind of normal, I think. For some reason, I guess I thought, I'm eating all these superfoods. I'm gonna feel amazing. These omega-3s are gonna be coursing through my veins. But I realized it's more so just an absence of feeling bad. It's been a week or so since I officially finished doing the diet for a month, and I've tried not to stray too far from it since then, but I've loosened up the restrictions. Like the other day, I had a milkshake, and it was fucking delicious. It was so good. I don't regret it at all. But I felt like garbage afterward. I was in a bad mood. I was groggy and irritable, and I went to bed really early for some reason. Same thing happened when we had pizza a few days later. It was the best pizza I've ever had in my life. At least it felt like it at the time, you know how it is. But it also made me feel like shit. I was so full, but I was also really grumpy. I kept getting annoyed at everything. It kind of ruined my night. And when I thought about it the next day, I was like, I think I'm good on pizza for a while. It also gave me acid reflux, which made me realize that I had not had that for the entire month that I was on the diet. So now that I think about it, maybe I'm onto something here. So food good, diet good, but everything outside of the meals, I could take it or leave it. The electrolytes are disgusting. The vitamins cost like $2 a pill. The water bottle's nice, but you're essentially paying an extra $40 just to have Tom Brady's name on it. And I love the guy, but not that much. The exercise equipment was a pretty good deal as far as I can tell. I'll let you know if all that shit just starts breaking one day. But ultimately, for a lifestyle change as drastic and as costly as this can be, I wouldn't recommend starting it off by wasting a couple $100 on a bunch of the less necessary crap. Just save that money for all the fish you're gonna have to eat. I know there's probably gonna be a lot of people who watch this video and think, whoa, you went on a diet for a month? That's crazy. What are you, like a regular person? And that's fine, but I'm proud of myself for doing this. It's not that I don't normally pay attention to what I eat and try to eat as healthy as possible, but I'm certainly not very consistent about it. So every day that I would get through the entirety of without making any bad dietary choices, it felt good laying in bed that night knowing I did a good job. And the more I stacked those days on top of each other, the better I felt overall. And I also realized when I'm only having one truly bad meal every week or two, it makes it taste so much better, because I've earned this. I'm gonna savor this shit. Again, I know these are very basic human principles that a lot of people are gonna hear and be like, yeah, Drew, it is hard. Everyone struggles with cravings and making good choices. It's not like extremely healthy people were just born with a different brain and they never think about how good ice cream would taste right now. They just have better self-discipline than I do. Anyway, this is a diet that I've wanted to try for several years, and maybe it's a good thing that Tom pretended to retire for just long enough to make me actually do it, because if he didn't, I probably wouldn't have. I'm still kind of pissed that he took my spot on the team, but I'll try not to hold a grudge. Well, I think I have finally run out of things to say. I've been working on this video for almost 2 months now, and I'm ready to be done. Hey guy, what the hell's going on TV?
Every woman is all in me.
I got cable again recently because sports are back on and I wanted to be able to look at them, and I am so confused. So for the past couple years, Fox has had a show called The Masked Singer, and I would be lying if I said it wasn't extremely entertaining.
I knew it! It's Ninja!
I knew it the whole time! What made you want to do The Masked Singer, other than come mess with me?
The fuck you say to me, you little shit?
Basically, it's a show where you can't see the contestants, but you can hear them, and you have to guess what they look like. But now they have this other show where you can't hear the contestants, but you can see them, and you have to guess what they sound like. So it's pretty innovative. It was while watching the show that I was reminded of how everything on TV seems like it's a spin-off of something that already exists. First there was American Idol, which was actually derived from a British show called Pop Idol. Much like The Office, America took the idea, milked it dry, and then ran it into the ground long after everyone's favorite character left. But by modern reality TV standards, it was actually a pretty simple concept. It's just a straightforward singing competition. However, it became so popular that the question became, how do we rip it off? Oh, I have an idea. I'm all ears. What about American Idol, but instead of one singer at a time, there's two of them? Ooh, very nice. Okay, what if we did one that was like American Idol, except they have to sing a cappella? Yeah, that's different enough. We'll do 5 seasons of that? Oh wait, what if we did one where they couldn't see the singers before they voted for them? And the judges would compete too? Sure, I'm not gonna watch it. Oh, I got an idea. What about American Idol, except they're all country singers? Yeah, you can do that, but that's gonna go on your network. Fine by me. Okay, what about American Idol, but they have to write their own songs? Love it. Oh, what about American Idol, but they have to write their own songs? Love it. Hey, I just said that. Wait, Brian, are you even awake? Huh? Yeah? Well, since you've been paying attention, why don't you tell everyone your idea? I was going to. Well, it's like American Idol, obviously, except, they're all wearing costumes? Brian? That is brilliant. Everyone, give it up for Brian.
Oh, and then in a couple years, we'll just do the opposite.
I'm realizing I probably could have just made a whole video about weird singing competitions because, oh my God, there's so many of them. Did you know they did one in 2008 where the grand prize was if you won, you'd get to be in High School Musical 3? Sort of. He doesn't have like a speaking role, so he's pretty hard to miss, but if you look closely, that's him right... Oh wait, sorry, I gotta fast forward a little bit. Right there. And there he goes. Well, at least the show is pretty good. Anyway, back to I Can See Your Voice, the epitome of network TV laziness. Much like The Avengers, it seems like all these singing competitions live inside the same cinematic universe. Ken Jeong went from being a judge on The Masked Singer to the host of this show, which is judged by Nick Lachey, who is the host of everything else. Really not a whole lot else to say about the show, but I do want to point out something I thought was interesting. When I was watching it, something felt off, but I couldn't quite put my finger on it. It's very fake, obviously, all of these shows are, but this one felt even more so, and I finally found out why. According to Wikipedia, they only completed one episode before the pandemic started and production had to be stopped, so they didn't film the rest until August, this time without an audience. But when you watch the show, it's edited as if there's an audience there. They cut to the audience members cheering and laughing. They do this a lot, actually.
G.I. Jane, what ranking are you?
Sergeant First Class.
Wow, oh, wow.
Come to find out, all of those shots are recycled from other shows. All of the crowd noise is put in post. And when they do a wide shot of the entire studio, you can see that the audience not only looks nothing like the shots that they intersperse, there's not nearly enough rows of people, but it's actually just a screen showing a virtual audience. If you look closely, it's the same image on both sides, only mirrored. Now, I'm just pointing this out because I thought it was interesting. I'm glad that they did it this way. I would much rather they do it like this than try to cram a bunch of people in a studio, risking their lives just so they can watch this.
Tell me how you gonna be without me.
But it at least explains on a subconscious level why this is so uncomfortable to watch.
And that is a medical fact.
So the next big genre of television, and the one that consistently brings in the highest ratings, is the government organization that catches bad guys show. You've got CSI, CSI Miami, CSI New York, NCIS, NCIS Los Angeles, NCIS New Orleans, Blue Bloods, Law & Order SVU, SWAT, SEAL Team, 911, 911 Lone Star, Criminal Minds, Chicago PD, Magnum PI, The Rookie, FBI, FBI Most Wanted, and I'm just gonna stop there because I think you get the idea. Lately, a lot of people have been speculating that the reason these shows are so prevalent is because they act as a form of propaganda, making us love and respect the government and see them as the good guys. And while that might be somewhat true, I really think it's just because they're popular. By design, these shows tend to be more episodic. There aren't necessarily a bunch of through lines you need to be following to jump in halfway into a season. Every episode tends to be an open and shut case, so there's that immediate resolution, and the characters are usually pretty easy to figure out. Oh, that guy's a cop? And that guy's a cop? Okay, I think I got it. That being said, I fucking hate these shows, and they're all the same.
Hey Mike, I'm gonna take out the trash like I always do. A dead body? That wasn't there before.
Well, gentlemen, looks like we have all the evidence we need to pin this on the obvious suspect. Wait, main character? What are you doing? I don't know, something's not right here. I have a hunch. Now's not the time to go rogue, kid. We got our man. Now let's go grab something to eat. I'm so confused. This just doesn't make sense. Sense. Sixth Sense. Haley Joel Osment.
What's going on here?
You're under arrest, Haley. For murder.
Okay, why not? I'll go with you guys.
I believe someone owes me an apology. All right, I'll swallow my pride. You did good, rookie. But just so you know, if this was real life, your antics would have gotten you fired. What? Then, of course, you have essentially the same subgenre, but with doctors instead. There's Grey's Anatomy, Scrubs, Chicago Med, The Good Doctor, Attaway General, Rugrats MD. Even if you want to delve into the depths of cable, your best bet for entertainment is probably going to be in the so bad it's good category. Also known as the, these people are idiots, but I can't stop watching them category. This is gonna be your TLC shows, Bravo, the CW, E. You've also got the Travel Channel if you don't wanna watch people travel anywhere and you just like ghosts. If you're hungry, there's the Guy Fieri channel. If you're white, there's HGTV.
We are going to
love it.
Oh, come on. They always love it. Many of the channels that I used to watch religiously either aren't around anymore or have just become functionally obsolete. SportsCenter used to be the coolest show on the planet. But now that you can just watch the highlights of any game on your phone, there's no reason to turn on ESPN unless you want to watch two guys yell at each other even though they're both wrong.
No. Yes.
My other favorite channel growing up was G4, if any of you guys remember that. When I was in high school, I would come home almost every day and watch X-Play and Attack of the Show. I loved that channel. At that point in time, you couldn't just watch original content centered around video games. It didn't exist. Obviously, things have changed a lot since then in that regard. I mean, Disney XD straight up just plays Jacksepticeye videos now. But even with the shifting landscape, I feel like G4 could have kept evolving. They could have been one of the pioneers of this new age of content, but instead they decided to just cancel all their original programming and start playing 24-hour marathons of Cops. Good plan, guys. And then there's IFC, which I think a lot of people may not realize is responsible for many of the best comedies of the 2010s. Portlandia, Comedy Bang Bang, Documentary Now. These might as well be Netflix originals because that's where 99% of people watch them anyway, but they're technically not. Even though, yeah, I guess you could just watch them on Netflix. Now, there's still plenty of reasons to get TV if you want it. There's live events like sports, the Big Brother eviction episodes, the debates. Okay, yeah, so maybe it's just sports. But if you don't like sports, which you probably don't because you're watching my channel, don't worry, there's still 20 random-ass movies playing at any given point, which you can watch the way that movies were meant to be seen, in 720p, censored, and constantly interrupted by commercials. Let's be honest though, and I've talked about this before, but the best thing cable has going for it is that it's just always on. If you got like 15 minutes to sit down and eat your lunch, you could easily spend that entire time just scrolling through the Netflix selection page, or hey look, a random episode of The Office I've already seen. You catch the last half of it, you eat your sandwich, and you manage to go your entire lunch break without being alone with your thoughts for even 1 second. And I'd call that a success. But the problem is, if you were to think about all the pros and cons of cable and then without doing any research, assign a price to that in your head, it's probably a single-digit number. Let's see, for $12.99 a month, I can use Netflix, an internet library with a billion movies and TV shows that I can share with someone else, and we can watch 2 different things in different places at the same time. Or, you know, there's cable, where I can watch Animal Planet and sometimes the news, but I'm going to be spending half that time sitting through commercials. My brain tells me that something like that should cost $0 because I now subconsciously associate being advertised to with free services like YouTube videos or the Words with Friends app. But since cable does offer a few things that you can't get anywhere else, let's say it should be like $10 a month. Oh, what's that? It's like $100? So Netflix is $13, Hulu is $12, HBO Max is $15, and Disney Plus is $7. Even if I were to get all 4 of those, it would still be cheaper than almost any cable provider. Like, I could get cable for $66 a month if I go through the same company I use for my internet, who I hate. This is a company that has the audacity to charge me extra for sending me my bill, even though before we started using them for internet, they sent us junk mail every day for 2 years. So I guess it's not that expensive to mail stuff. This is also the company that when we set up internet here charged me a $200 activation fee when all the guy did was plug the modem into the wall and give me a thumbs up. But to be fair, that $200 is nothing compared to the potential hospital bills I could have accrued had I tried to plug that thing in myself. Do I use my mouth to plug it in? Yeah, so safe to say I'm not a big fan of Spectrum, but let's humor them for a second and pretend that I thought this double play silver package was a rockin' deal that I had to take advantage of. First, we need to figure out the actual cost, because if I know Spectrum, and unfortunately I do, there's gonna be some hidden fees. Obviously, gonna be an activation fee, there's no way around that. They're gonna charge you to come hook everything up. In this case, it's a $50 one-time fee, really not too bad, but just keep that in mind as we keep going and things start getting worse. If you look closely at your bill, you may notice a broadcast TV service fee. For Spectrum, it's an extra $13.50 a month. So if the price you saw was $66, it's actually going to be closer to $80 for now. You might be thinking, what is a broadcast TV service fee? And do I have to pay that? Well, it's made up bullshit, and yes, you do. If you dig real deep into Spectrum's fine print, they'll tell you that due to some law that was passed 28 years ago, local TV channels charge us so much to broadcast them that we're simply forced to pass those charges on to you. The word forced is, of course, being used incorrectly here because the only thing forcing them to do this is their own desire to bankrupt each and every one of their customers. Sorry guys, but the prices now demanded by broadcast stations have necessitated that we pass these costs on to customers. Okay, well, how much do they charge you? It sounds like it's a lot. Oh, sorry, we can't provide that information. You're just gonna have to trust us. We've earned your trust, right? So to reiterate, this $13.50 is a non-negotiable fee that will be tacked onto your bill every single month for as long as you have cable. So why isn't it included in the advertised price? Well, because then it wouldn't look like as good of a deal, which it already didn't. This is an extremely misleading and unethical marketing practice that's used to convince people the cost of something is lower than it actually is, so they commit to paying for it before they realize they're being overcharged. It's so deceptive, in fact, that in 2016, Comcast had to refund $700,000 to customers after a class action lawsuit over this exact practice. Pretty cool, huh? Well, there's more. Up next, we have a DVR service charge, which is another $5 a month. Unless you have more than one cable box, then it's 10. Let's see, the DVR was invented in 1999, but sure, let's not include it in the advertised price, even though at this point it's a commonly standard feature one would expect to be included in any cable package. It even says here that the DVR is built into the cable box. But no, that'll be extra. And then there's perhaps the most egregious fee, an $8 monthly charge for the TV receiver and remote. Look, I understand if they want to charge you for the cable box, sure, but a monthly fee? Does the remote get more expensive as time goes on? Is it gonna grow more buttons next month? Let's say, God forbid, you paid for Spectrum TV for 5 years before canceling it. In that time, you will have paid $480 extra just to be able to use the remote. So for those of you playing along at home, without the addition of any extra content, any premium channels or anything extra whatsoever, the $66 price that you saw advertised on the website is actually $97. This is what they advertise, and this is what you're actually paying for the first year, because then after 12 months, the price goes up another $25. Why did we raise the price, you ask? Well, because we fucking hate you. That means after 1 year of using Spectrum TV, you will now be paying double what was advertised to you just so you can watch this. Now, maybe they're not all that bad. Obviously, I haven't used every single cable provider. We did have DirecTV for a little bit, which I got because I wanted to use the NFL Sunday Ticket thing. And if there's one thing the NFL loves, it's using monopolies to destroy their product. And in my experience, that worked pretty well. As long as rain doesn't exist where you live, otherwise you're gonna be looking at a lot of buffering symbols. The other problem was they made me sign a 2-year contract, which was fine at first, but 7 months later we had to move out of that house because it was being eaten by termites. Then the apartment complex we moved to told us we're not allowed to have a satellite dish on the roof. So I called DirecTV and told them that, and they said, well, we think you're allowed to have a satellite on the roof, so you have to keep paying us. The bad news is I had to pay a big cancellation fee, but the good news is they let us keep the satellite dish. And now I use it as a soup bowl. Luckily, it's not 2006 anymore. You don't have to have cable if you want to watch TV. There are plenty of cord-cutting options available, and right off the bat, I'm going to be bold here and say all of them are better than cable. Every single one of these is more flexible and probably cheaper than just about any cable service you could find. The only reason cable might be a better option for you is if you live in an area where your internet is extremely unreliable, because then if your internet goes out, your TV goes out too. But as far as cable alternatives go, there are a bunch of these to choose from. There's YouTube TV, Sling, Fubo, Philo, Hulu, Zumo. Basically, if you type 4 random letters into Google, it's probably the name of an internet TV provider. It's also worth noting that every single one of these comes with a free trial, so if you just need TV for a couple days to watch like the Super Bowl or the season finale of Real Housewives, just start a trial, watch your show, and then cancel that shit. I won't tell anyone. Personally, I've used these 3, and they're all pretty decent. Sling's pricing options are kind of confusing. They have an orange package and a blue package, and they're conveniently set up so you're going to be missing channels you want either way. But it's only $30 a month, so it's one of the cheapest. Compare that to Fubo and YouTube TV, which are both $65 a month. It's a pretty good deal. It makes sense that these two are the same price because they're extremely similar, although I would give the edge to YouTube TV just because they have unlimited DVR space and more stuff to watch on demand, like the 2016 classic Pixels, starring Kevin James as the president. It also works the same way that YouTube does, where it figures out what you like and tailors your homepage to you. So if I go on right now, they're like sports, 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 sports. Good morning, football. Did you sleep good, football? I made breakfast football. So that's pretty cool. I've never seen an algorithm like that used in a cable service before. All of that being said, it doesn't really matter because I'm gonna cancel it as soon as football season is over, which might be sooner than I expected. So now that we've talked about what's on TV and how to watch TV, I guess the only question left is, what even is TV anymore? Like when your friend says to you, dude, I just started watching this new show. It's so good. You gotta check it out. Your next question is never going to be, what channel is it on? You're just gonna assume they're talking about Netflix, because they probably are. When I was writing this video, I was looking up articles about the best and worst TV shows of 2020. And in those articles, every writer is like, well, the best show I saw was on Hulu, and the worst show I saw was on CBS. The standard for network television is so low now that the only shows that seem to work are dumbass reality shows, weird-ass singing competitions, Wipeout-style obstacle courses, and the 400th season of NCIS. And it's ironic, because I truly believe we are in a golden age of television. It seems like every couple weeks people start raving about another 10 out of 10 show that just blew their minds. It's just that none of these are on cable. Ozark, Watchmen, Cobra Kai, Succession, which I will plug in every video. Yet these extremely original, well-written shows with movie-level production, and there's no fluff. They're just condensed into the 10 best episodes, jam-packed with content, and you can watch them all back to back if you want, or, you know. I'm not seeing enough movement! And it's probably better this way too, because for the first time in decades, cable is now one of the least accessible mediums. The fact that you even have to call someone and then let them into your house so they can install a box for you is enough for most young people to be like, yeah, I think I'll just keep doing free trials of Hulu. So as the quality continues to decline and the user base continues to age, what does the future of cable look like? It's still several times more expensive than streaming services. There's no ad-free version. And in most cases, you're probably gonna end up tied to some shitty cable company that's gonna do everything in their power to take every dollar to your name. That's not an attractive package to young people who are new to this market. It's really not even an attractive package to older people, but I think a lot of them just do it because it's what they're used to. With the way things have so drastically evolved in the past few years, I don't think it's inconceivable to think of a future where cable is just a distant, expensive memory. So what does the future look like? Is it just everything's on demand? If you want to see a football game, you just go to like watch.nfl and pay like $5 per game, or maybe there's a fee for just all of your team's games, or maybe a premium fee for every game if you want to spend that much money. It's not a crazy idea. I'm literally just describing a service that already exists for the NBA and NHL. And as far as other shows go, most of them are already available to stream after the season ends, or in some cases you can pay per episode to watch them on like iTunes the day after they air. The bottom line is, cable companies absolutely suck ass. Hey guy, remember a couple months ago when I wasted like $1,000 on what ended up being almost entirely a bunch of junk? Well, I'm doing that again. It's not that I don't want to save my money, it's that saving money is boring. Why would I let it sit in some bank account all day when I could be investing it in garbage? So for the past few weeks, I've been saving all of my favorite weird-ass Instagram ads, and today I will go through them and charge a concerning amount of money to my credit card. Now, one of the things I bought last time were $89 joggers, which, believe it or not, I'm actually wearing right now. Jealous. But my biggest fear in life, besides burning to death, is that one day my pants are gonna fall down in the middle of a grocery store, exposing my bare button balls to everyone there, even the manager. If that happened, I would have to move to a brand new city, and moving is expensive. So the better solution is to buy a belt, and I've got the perfect one in mind.
I've been obsessed with belts for a long time. I wear a belt every day.
Hold on, you're obsessed with belts? I like belts. They get the job done, but I wouldn't exactly say I'm obsessed with them. I'm not lying awake at night just thinking about belts.
So the belt's really cool because it solves those exact 3 problems. There's no holes, there's no flap, and it's super flat, like low profile.
And it looks dorky as hell. What a build-up. You've got the inspirational music in the background, all the nonsensical buzzwords.
The webbing's a military webbing that we have custom made for us. It's rated at like 3,000 pounds. It's got just a ton of strength.
What does that even mean? If I'm getting hit by 3,000 pounds of force, the last thing I'm worried about is the strength of my belt buckle.
The buckle that goes with it is an aerospace grade aluminum.
Again, that does not matter. These words mean nothing. I do not need military grade steel around my waist. Hey, do you like my belt? Not really. Well, what if I told you that this is the same steel they use to make spaceships? I would be confused.
And we actually make them ourselves, like in our shop. You can make like 45 combinations, like 3,000 pounds.
This guy really knows his stuff, and that's why I feel comfortable buying one for $35. I figure though, if I'm gonna buy one of these, I might as well go all in on the absurdity and get red. Not a normal color like black or brown. I'm talking bright fucking red. I want people to see my big dumb astronaut belt from miles away. So this next one I've seen a bunch, and it's really not surprising to me. I spend most of my time sitting on my ass, sometimes because I have to, but usually because I want to. And with that comes the occasional lower back pain. Solution? Lay down on a tire and roll back and forth.
What is the difference between a foam roller and a chirp wheel?
I know. The foam roller is longer. There's a lot of pop.
Well, slap my mama!
$99? For 3 little wheels? Wait, so this deal is part of a summer Black Friday sale? First of all, it's Thursday. Second of all, you can't just make up holidays. You know how many birthdays I'd give myself if you could? All of them. Every day's my birthday. So for $99, I can get just the 3 wheels, or I can get the ultimate back pain bundle. Guaranteed to give you back pain. So I think I'm gonna have to do that. It also comes with a carrying case. Where do you think I'm gonna take these? The mall? Go ahead and grab a spot in line, babe. I gotta roll around in the bathroom. And the last thing in the bundle is the posture corrector, which sounds menacing, honestly. There's no explanation on how it works. There's not even a picture of someone wearing it. So I have no clue what to expect or how to use it, but I guess I'll find out. So at this point, it's become clear to me that the algorithm is very aware of my shitty back, because the very next day I got an ad for a nearly identical product, but this one I can put on my chair. Decor Restore Spine. Natural posture. I'll go ahead and grab one of these too so I can compare it with the other one. $40, not so bad, though it doesn't come with a carrying case, so I don't know how I'm gonna take this anywhere. Oh, hold on. You've unlocked a special offer. Get our brand new Spine Neck for 40% off. They trademarked that? They trademarked Spine Neck? I don't think anyone was gonna take that from you, but neck and shoulder muscle relaxer. Wow, and I don't even need a prescription. Cool. But what does it do? Okay, so you kind of just roll around on it. I like that. Effortlessly ease your pain in 10 just minutes. The Spine Neck creates ultimate relaxation in the neck and shoulder anytime, anywhere. Again, that is not a selling point. I'm not leaving the house with this. Easy to use anywhere, in offices, hotels, car, obviously not while driving. Now, I get pretty stressed out when I'm on the highway. I think that's the perfect time to use it. It's like having a personal massager on your hand 24/7. See, look at this visual representation of that. FAQs. Does it hurt? Not really. Can we take a nap on this? Who is asking that? Can you use it while sitting? Yes. Can you use it while driving? Hell no. Well, I'm sold. Between this and the other 2 back products I bought, I'm expecting my scoliosis to be fully cured. For some reason, the next ad I got was for a big old backpack, which I thought was weird because I'm not in school. I don't go anywhere, actually. I haven't been on a flight in like 2 years. But most importantly, I already have a carrying case for my chirp wheels. So What else am I gonna have to take with me? But I was so fascinated by the marketing strategy here that I felt compelled to buy one.
The Go Bag from Bad Moon to the Moon. Literally one huge pocket. There's so much space in here.
What? A bag with a pocket? That's crazy.
In addition to this huge pocket, there's also this mesh pocket on the insides. There's this side pocket right here.
Wow. I bet you could put stuff in it.
10 out of 10.
The bag itself is probably fine, but I think this is just a testament to how hard it is to advertise a product that already exists, because there's like nothing else to say. Let me tell you guys, this new product from lamp.com is absolutely incredible. If you've never seen one of these, it actually turns on and then light comes out of it. I would turn it on right now, but I can't. It's not plugged in anything. They shut the power off in my house. Fits 1 to 3 days worth of clothing. 1 to 3? You're telling me I might only fit one outfit in here? One shirt, one pant, that's it? No wonder the person on the homepage needs 15 of them. One for every day. This is easily the dumbest product so far. I have no idea why I'm buying this. I've definitely seen this one before. I'm actually pretty excited to try this out. The comments seem very positive, which is good. But that's also misled me in the past, so I'll tread carefully. Summer sale, 60% off. I refuse to believe that they ever charged $37 for one of these. That's insane. Also, the 2-pack is the most popular. Why would I need 2 of them? One for each hand? Yeah, that makes sense. Expertly designed to work perfectly on furniture, carpets, dogs, cars, not while driving. Warehouse in Florida, that's where I live. Hell yeah, I can't wait to clean my carpet. Man, what the fuck? I just bought 2. I don't need a third one. How are you gonna say this is a very limited one-time offer and then also say that a bunch of people have accepted this offer? It sounds like it's neither limited nor one-time. Liars. This next one isn't weird per se. I've just seen this more and more lately on Instagram and YouTube. If you've listened to any podcast in the past year, you've probably heard about Magic Spoon, the cereal that is supposed to taste just like Fruit Loops, but without the sugar and the carbs and the toucan on the box. I am really skeptical about this. I feel like it's gonna taste like shit, but even if it doesn't, it's also stupidly expensive. For $39 plus shipping, you can get the variety pack, which comes out to about $10 per 7-ounce box. By comparison, you can get a 24-ounce box of Frosted Flakes for $4 from Target. 3 times as much food for less than half the price. To be fair, most cereals are just sugary processed garbage, but that's still a pretty substantial price difference. Another reason I'm skeptical is because of the reviews. They have 4.8 out of 5 stars, but I'm not 100% certain that they don't do what MoonPod was doing, which was delete 1 and 2-star reviews from their website, like tyrannical cereal overlords. I say this because you can't sort reviews by rating on here, so it's really hard to find a negative one. But all of the top reviews are littered with downvotes. Greatest cereal I've ever had. More downvotes than upvotes. Unbelievably delicious. More downvotes than upvotes. How is this even possible? No sugar, low carb, packed with protein, and it's yummy? Is this some kind of trick? 500 likes, 900 dislikes. What if I just search the word bad? Not that bad. Okay, well that didn't work. I don't know, maybe I'm just jaded by my own negative experiences, but I'm a little suspicious. That was gonna be the last one for this video, but then I saw one more product that I have to try.
This hand-in-your-face basketball product simulates true game-like situations when training. It develops not only the ability to shoot over defenders, but your focus, confidence, and muscle memory.
It's a little paper hand that you tape to your forehead and it flaps around in front of your eyes to make you better at basketball. Brilliant. I saw this because of someone quote tweeting it saying Elfrid Payton basically had this for years and it didn't help him. For reference, this was his hairstyle when he played for the Magic. The man was ahead of his time. Even though I already retired from the NBA in 2016, I still like to stay at the top of my game, so I think I'm gonna order one of these and give it a shot and see if it actually makes my jump shot better. Plus, I'm always down to support someone's small business, so let's do it. Now all I gotta do is wait. Mail's here. First things first, I gotta get this belt on. Awesome. It came with a sticker, but they folded it in half, so it's gonna have a big crease down the middle. Grip 6, American made, just like me. Another reminder on this side that it was made in America. We get it, dude. Grip 6 belts are made in the finest American sweatshops. Cool. This right here, that's where the value comes in. They ripped this off of a spaceship just to give it to me. This is one of the first products I bought in a long time that didn't come with instructions. I hope it's simple. I guess I'll find out. Excuse me. Stop looking at my balls. Obviously, I can't go like this, because then it's gonna go over the belt buckle, and we want people to see the belt buckle. I want people to know that I supported an American company. How the fuck do you put this on? Maybe it goes like that, and then let me try this again for the third time, for the fourth time.
There's enough things in life that are super complicated, and I like to simplify things down.
You know, this guy made a really big deal about how regular belts are so confusing. People are always struggling. You gotta put the thing through the hole. What if I put it through the wrong one? But this is the dumbest I've ever felt. Failing to put this belt on? Are you kidding me? Does it loop around like that? Is that it? Did I do it? I cannot believe that I am about to Google how to put on a belt. I'm the dumbest person in the world. Okay, there's a video, how to put it on. This has over 200,000 views. So hopefully that means I'm not the only idiot out there.
You've got a buckle and you've got a strap. The strap goes up from the back side of the buckle. You don't want to do it this way. Grip 6 belt actually goes down into the front. You hold on to the strap just like that.
Next stop, Sex Town. Yeah. I'm gonna fuck the belt. I gotta wear this for a bit and make sure it doesn't loosen itself before I can give my thoughts, but it is keeping my pants up. Let me go ahead and do the bag now. Oh, I didn't tell you guys what color I got. Not purple. Orange. Orange, you glad I bought this? I did end up going with the mini one. This was about 140 bucks. First impressions, it's a bag. Wow. Look at this, guys. Okay, it's got a decent amount of space. I like this branding here that says Baboon to the Moon, and then I guess their slogan is Get Lost, which I just feel is kind of mean. I guess I'll count how many pockets there are. 1, 2. You could fit maybe like a water bottle in there. There's some pocket space on the inside here. But that's always deceptive because if you fill this big pocket to the brim, you're not going to be able to squeeze anything else in any of these pockets. So really, I would say this is one big pocket.
One huge pocket.
With a little bit of space up here and then one. This is an extremely standard backpack. It's probably a little thicker than like your normal backpack. They said it's waterproof. That does appear to be true. How's it look? I failed. Filming today was actually really good timing because my back hurt. And luckily, I have all of these great, wonderful products to choose from that will hopefully not make things worse. I love that new chirp wheel smell. I mean, I do like how everything fits. I am enjoying how organized this looks. Posture corrector, I'll have to try that later. You know, now that I think about it, I don't think I would ever use these big ones. I feel like the little one is all you need. I think I could have bought this and saved like 50 bucks. So how's your day going? Feel like we haven't talked in a while. Everything good, champ? Honestly, I kind of like it. All right, I'm on board. But you know what they say, go big or go home. What if I just like died? This is too much. I guess I'll try medium. So the big one was a little bit too much, but maybe that's because my posture hasn't been corrected yet. Step 1, put arms into straps as if putting on a backpack. I just practiced. To adjust tightness, pull tabs on both sides until snug. Wear 2 to 4 hours. Feels kind of stupid, but you just wait. 3 hours from now, I'm gonna have the posture of a supermodel, but still my body, so. While this thing does its job, I should probably try out the other back product. First, I got the spine deck which sort of just fell apart. Apparently there are 3 different levels of back stretches with this. Level 3 is greater stretching for advanced users only. You really gotta put in the work with this before you're ready for level 3. This thing isn't super flexible. What the fuck? Okay, there we go. So I'll just lay down on this as instructed. Is it working? It just feels kind of lumpy. I like how it came with this flimsy little rubber piece that you have to insert yourself, I guess to make it nice and comfortable. But then it's got like 100 spikes on it that just dig into your back. It's like laying down on a pile of Legos. I guess I'll try the other way to do it, which is on your chair. My chair already has sort of a curved back, so I don't think this is gonna make much of a difference. This has got to be one of the dumbest things I've ever owned. I feel like you could find something lying around your house that would accomplish the same effect and feel that this thing has. I swear to God, if this undoes the progress I make with my posture corrector, I'm gonna have a conniption. But of course, the real test is gonna be with the spine neck. So a lot of people ask me, does it hurt? Not really. I don't know how much science went into this design. It feels like an arbitrary collection of random shapes. It's just this like rubber boomerang that's got some bumps on it. It's the kind of thing that just ends up in a box in your attic and sits there for 10 years until you have to move, and then you find it and no one knows what it is. Almost forgot about this bad boy. Oh my God, is that the Uproot lint cleaner? No, it's 2 of them. There's a little quote on the bag that says, "It's so good, I can't put it down." That's what you would say about like a snack. Like a bag of chips you can't stop eating. Not a lint roller. It looks dirty. And then this handle's kind of fucked up. It's already got a crack in it. So as far as appearance goes, I'd give this like a D so far, but that doesn't really matter. Let's see if they work. I think this carpet might be too long for this. Oh, there we go. Yeah. I'm seeing it now. See that? Oh, well, just focused on the carpet there. Yeah, there's some dirt there. I see it. This isn't really doing as much as I hoped it would. Maybe it's my carpet, it's kind of long. We have a couple rugs that are short. Let me try one of those. This actually worked pretty well when I moved it to a short rug that we walk on a lot. We vacuum this rug probably twice a month, but even still, there was a lot of cat hair trapped under there. So if you have a pretty short rug like this or a really short carpet, I think this will work well. Ours was probably too long for it to be worth it, but you know what? This thing did a pretty good job. I'm impressed. Man, I don't know about you guys, but all this dust and cat hair has given me quite the appetite. Who's hungry? Me. I've been getting a lot of comments from you guys already on this video guessing that I was gonna use cow's milk to drink this, and I'm sorry to disappoint you, but this is an almond milk family. 0 cows were milked in the making of this beverage. I also don't need these yet. I'm thinking maybe chocolate first. You guys can eat along at home if you'd like. It doesn't have to be this. You could pretty much eat anything, I don't care. It smells like Cocoa Pebbles, which I do like. I like me some Cocoa Pebbles. I think Fruity Pebbles I actually like better, not that you asked. There she goes. Bottoms up. There's a little bit of an aftertaste I'm not digging. It's weird. The first couple seconds of chewing on it, it tastes really good. It tastes like exactly like any chocolate cereal I've ever had. But then for some reason, the longer you chew on it, it just starts to like meld together into this like, I don't even know how to describe it. Like this isn't a flavor I've ever tasted before. The flavor that's sitting in my mouth right now. I'm not even eating it anymore, but I feel like I painted the inside of my mouth with this weird flavor. Yeah, I think I'm done with the chocolate one. That's not very good. It feels good. Like the texture is exactly what you would expect, but that aftertaste, man, I don't know. It's like really bitter. Next up, peanut butter. The other one didn't taste good, but it felt and smelled good. So far, this one does not smell good. This table makes me feel like a little kid. Like there wasn't any room left at the kids' table, so I had to eat with the grown-ups, but everything is giant compared to my tiny body. I'm not even gonna bother closing that up. I don't even know if it's worth preserving. This shit sucks. It seems like they tried to, in a roundabout way, create a peanut butter flavor, but it tastes nothing like peanut butter. Yeah, I'm not digging this at all. Light died, that was fast. I think I'm done with peanut butter. It smells exactly like cotton candy. Wait, this is my favorite. The Sig Chunk. I don't want to eat this. I'm gonna set that to the side. I guess I'll put it in here. I'm not eating that. The boxes are kind of fun. There's a word search on here. This one had Mad Libs. Sure, this tiny little box costs $10 whole, but there's a free maze on the back. So I'd actually pay another $10 just to do the maze. Can you tell I'm procrastinating? I don't want to eat this. That's definitely the best one so far. It's got a pretty good flavor, I'd say. It really just tastes like stevia though, like artificial sweetener. Yeah, maybe I did finish it. What, you never been hungry before? Well, I saved what I expected and hoped to be the best for last. Fruity, another maze. Wait, is this the same maze? Okay, no, it's a different maze, thank God. Ow. Cheers. This does have the same flavor, sort of, as Fruity Pebbles. Again, there's like a bitter aftertaste. It's so weird. And then the aftertaste made the next bite taste even worse, I feel like. Don't take my review as gospel. I know that people like this. Also, taste is obviously very subjective. I am not super picky. I will eat just about anything. I know that everybody says that. I feel like the problem is not so much the flavor itself, but how much of it there is. Like if there was an adjustable knob, they turned it up just a little bit too high. I noticed it the second I put it in my mouth. That's why I made that face. Some foods, the flavor takes a second or two to kick in, but this was like the moment it got past the opening of my mouth, I tasted it in my whole body. So let's be concise. I know this video is long already. 3 out of 10, 2 out of 10, 5 out of 10, 3 out of 10. Again, it's about dinner time right now, and I didn't eat. I haven't eaten for several hours. I was saving it for this. I thought that would actually make me a bad reviewer because the hungrier I am, the more I tend to like the way things taste. Just something quirky and different about me. But instead, I hated pretty much all of it. So I don't know if Magic Spoon has reached out to me to do a brand deal or not. This probably disqualified me from doing one, but I don't do ads for things that I don't like, and I don't like this. So that's that. After consuming 4 bowls of the best cereal money can buy, it was time to hit the court. And let me just say, I was in the zone. Even though I didn't technically make any of my shots, I connected with the backboard on a few of them, which I think they should at least give you 1.4, because it's even higher up than the basket. Cut me a break here, refs. But despite my overwhelming success, I couldn't stop thinking about Hand in Your Face. Could it really make me better? I had to try. What the fuck? Suddenly, I was practicing like never before, which is to say I was actually making shots. I've never done that before. I usually just pat myself on the back for getting close, but this was a whole new feeling. Maybe being able to see what I was doing has been a distraction all along. This whole time, I should have just been letting my elite athleticism and God-given talent take over. My eyes have been holding me back from greatness. And that's when it hit me. I had to take this to the next level.
With the first pick in the 2021 NBA Draft, the Golden State Warriors select
Drew Gooden. They do have a timeout. Decide not to use it. Gooden. Way downtown. Bang! Bang! Oh, what a shot!
He can do everything Jordan could do, but better.
For me, it's Michael Jordan. It's Drew Gooden.
Anybody got some milk?
The rumors are true. Today, I am announcing my retirement from the NBA after 43 wonderful seasons. Unfortunately, the game just wasn't challenging for me. I've already played for all 30 teams. I won the championship every single year, and I never missed a shot. So there really wasn't anything else for me to accomplish, and I'd like to move on to bigger and newer challenges. Any questions? So now that you've retired, what's your next move gonna be? I'm gonna be a commentary YouTuber. I don't know what that is. So this is going in S tier. As far as everything else goes, I'm gonna have to take the B out of the belt and then give it back to it. Yeah, it looks silly, and maybe I feel kind of bad about ragging on the guy so hard, but it works. It definitely keeps your pants up. Once you figure out how to get it on, it grips really well, almost too well, actually. There were a couple times when I forgot I was wearing it and I had to pee really bad, but I had to stand there for 20 seconds struggling with it before I could. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. Backpack, I'm gonna give that a C. Definitely way too expensive, but it is a bag, so the advertising was accurate. Both of these little shits are going in F. Frankly, you could not design a more useless product. If I saw these at a yard sale, I wouldn't even pay $1 for them. I'm gonna put the lint cleaner in B, because it's pretty cheap and it worked well. But don't be too fooled by their Instagram videos. If you even vacuum semi-regularly, you're not gonna have your mind blown by pulling up a toupee of human hair. It's just gonna be a little bit. The back wheels, I feel like I could go B or C. I'm gonna lean towards C just because they're so expensive. They really aren't that much better than a foam roller, and you can get one of those for 10 to 20 bucks. The case is very nice, and the posture corrector is a funny gag gift, but that's pretty much all I can say about it. Finally, Magic Spoon for me is a D. It just doesn't taste that good, and it's way overpriced. Now, if you are on a specific diet, particularly keto, and you're craving a sweet snack, I think you'll probably like this. The problem is they try to market it so broadly. Instead of saying it's a great keto snack, it's great for this specific diet, they say it's the new cereal for grown-ups. And guess what? I'm a grown-up, and I think it sucks. Sorry, you're probably tired of hearing me talk about brands. Luckily, I've got just the thing for you. All right, we both need a haircut. Remember books? Yeah, me neither, but I was doing some research, and apparently it's this thing where you buy it because it makes you feel smart to own one, but then you never make time to read it because video games is more fun. And that's books. One thing I've noticed over the past decade is how aware of YouTuber books I've been, despite not really being engaged with YouTube until about 3 or 4 years ago. Because of the size of their audience, when people like Shane Dawson or Tyler Oakley or Dan and Phil release a book, I'd always end up seeing it displayed like front and center at a Barnes & Noble. At some point, I think it just became the thing to do when you hit like 3 million subscribers. Gotta write a book now, I guess. Maybe it's because of how enticing it is to be able to add New York Times bestseller to your Twitter bio, or like many other things, maybe it's just because your manager told you could make a lot of money if you wrote a book, so you wrote a book. I think that's one thing a lot of people may not realize about YouTubers is how many business decisions they've made that have been influenced by the management team that has inevitably come and swooped them up to tell them to diversify. I mean, that YouTube channel is doing pretty well for now, but would it really hurt if you started a podcast and wrote a book and started doing live shows and Twitch streaming and posted 100 times a week instead of just one? I would love to make more money. I mean, I would love for you to make more money. If you're wondering why it seemed like so many YouTubers were going on tour at the same time, look no further than MCNs, or multi-channel networks. Because there are only a handful of popular MCNs that have so many creators under their umbrella, they're pretty much all getting the same advice at the same time.
We here at Giant Company see you as not just one of our 900,000 creators, but as an individual with a unique story to tell. And that's why we've hand-selected you, and only you, as the perfect partner for this brand new project. You write a book, and we make most of the money. How's that sound, champ?
Okay. Now, I want to make it clear, I'm not making this video to shit on every single YouTuber book that's ever been written. I'm not saying that just because a book is written by a YouTuber, that means it's bad, or just because a YouTuber does a live show, that means it's not very well put together. That's not true. What is true is that these things tend to separate like the truly talented creators who just happen to be on YouTube from the people who are clearly just doing it because it seemed like the right entrepreneurial thing to do. Those kind of books read much differently, with it being very obvious that much of what you're reading is just there to fill space, words devoid of purpose that couldn't be edited out because then the book wouldn't be long enough. For example, in Jake Paul's You Gotta Want It, he starts with a short About Me section with some descriptive things like how old he is, what he does. It looks like he's on Disney Channel, so I hope that goes well for him. And that's fine because that's all information. This is an About Me section and these are things that describe him. But then he runs out of information and just starts listing pointless shirtless shit. I'm wearing sweatpants. There's a place around the corner from where I live that has killer smoothies. My favorite is peanut butter and jelly. I got one a few minutes ago. So right away, it's very clear we're just reading this guy's stream of consciousness. He was sitting there typing, he reached for his smoothie to have a sip, and then he was like, oh, I should type about the smoothie because what even is this book? I'm not so sure he even knew what this book was going to be or why he was writing it until he was done writing it. He ends the About Me section with, my brother Logan is telling me that this book should be all about girls, but I say no, this book is all about... Wait, that's a good question. What is this book about? And to me at least, that just seems like something that maybe he should have tried to figure out before he got to this point. You know a book is going to be good when the author openly admits to making it up as he goes. What's that famous line from the beginning of Sorcerer's Stone? Harry Potter, the boy who did something of significance. I haven't figured out what yet, but I'll let you know when I do. From what I can tell, this book is all about motivation and positivity and shirtless Jake Paul. It's about encouraging you to chase your dreams and face your fears, written by a teenager whose advice is terrible. Move with deliberate fearlessness, ignore the naysayers, take the word no and flip it around. What? Will I ever be successful? On be success, Dad. Then he tells a story about how one time he and Logan were driving to Las Vegas and he turned to him and said, let's see how fast this thing can go, proceeding to drive 170 miles per hour. That's too fast. That is reckless driving. You could go to jail for a year for driving that fast, but maybe that's the point, right? Maybe the lesson's like, there's no shortcuts in life, work smarter, not harder, don't drive as fast as I did. Nope, the opposite in fact. I'm gonna gun it like this the whole way, which is my approach to everything. It should be yours too. You hear that, guys? You should always drive 170 miles per hour towards your dreams. That is criminally bad advice. Nobody should be listening to this maniac. That being said, I'm gonna keep reading. I listen to a lot of rap. I relate to it. I know rappers exaggerate to make their songs sound more street, but when I decipher the lyrics, they're mostly about stuff that's happened or is happening to those guys as they fight their way to the top. Nothing's gonna stop them, they say, and I know exactly what they mean. This is the funniest thing I've ever read in my life. At one point, he describes his own birth, which is a funny sentence on its own. But he says he was born 3 weeks early. I couldn't wait, which is typical of me. And that's just so funny to like brag about being born way too early. My mom was only pregnant with me for a week and a half before I came out. Yeah, my arms and legs don't work, and I'm only 4 inches tall, but I just couldn't wait to get out in the world and start my YouTube channel. But getting to the meat of the book, there's a very weird chapter where Jake talks about his first crush, Megan Fox from Transformers. I was 10 years old, and I thought the movie was the best thing I'd ever seen. I also thought Megan Fox was the hottest girl in this universe. At that age, I knew the word sexy, but not its meaning. I can't say that I walked out of the theater thinking Megan was sexy, but I did walk out of the theater thinking about Megan, which was something, considering I thought the cars and trucks in the movie were also super hot, and I spent a lot of time thinking about them too. What the fuck did I just read? When I was 10, I thought Megan was sexy, but I didn't know she was sexy because I didn't know about sex yet, but she was my girlfriend, and the cars were my girlfriend, and I'll always love them both. So in case it wasn't obvious yet, this is where the book starts to get odd. Suddenly, Jake is no longer telling us how to achieve our dreams and follow our goals. Instead, he's really honed in on the female teenage audience, teaching them all about boys. This chapter, called Hello Ladies, is his experience with puberty, something that, for some reason, he's telling us about. At one point, he unintentionally encourages all the young kids reading to Google what sex is, which, in hindsight, probably not the best advice. This was all my pubescent pals and I did for a brief moment in our young lives, and what an education we got. Through photos and videos, we figured out the basics on our own, and then some, and we were good to go. No talk necessary. But you don't just walk onto a basketball court and dunk like LeBron James.
First, you have to learn how to dribble. He spends a lot of time recounting his first sexual experiences, describing the girls he liked and made out with in way too much detail. I hope these aren't their real names because holy shit, dude. This whole time I was also texting Julie and her boobs. I was into making out, but I'd heard that others were doing more than kissing, including Julie. I didn't know what she'd done, but thanks to Google, I'd figured out the facts of life and then some. Julie and I went into my room together and made out. Then, after a while, her hands went places, and so did mine. And suddenly, we were past making out, in brand new territory. At least for me, I was like, oh my god, this is the best moment ever. The cool thing is, that moment is still pretty great all these years later. Am I reading porn? Don't worry, there's still so much book left. 10 facts about teenage guys that every teenage girl should know. Number 1, while girls are occupied with their hairstyles, clothes, and shoes, and maybe cool rings and necklaces, he knows so much about girls, most guys in the 8th grade are thinking about what girls look like after all that's removed and they are in their underwear or bathing suits. By 9th grade, guys are obsessing about what girls look like without their clothes on. Is this meant to help the teenage girls?
Hey ladies, you may not realize it yet, but guys, they want to see your ass. So show it to them, I guess? I guess I just didn't realize how sexually charged this book for children would be. I thought this was gonna be like Edfluence the book, but some parts are more like 50 Shades of Paul. I realize I just made a 50 Shades of Grey reference in the year 2020, but I just don't know any other popular porn book. Anyway, there's a lot of boring shit in here that's not really worth talking about. I like how in the middle there's just a bunch of random pages of pictures that have nothing to do with the book, with captions ranging from someone's a little fishy to shirts are overrated. But other than that, this book is extremely boring and pointless, and at the very end he mentions the same smoothie that he talked about at the beginning, which confirms my suspicion that he did write this all in one sitting. If I were to pick one quote from the book, a little pearl of wisdom to leave you guys with, it would be, some days your underwear sticks in your butt crack. Pick it out, laugh it off, and get going again. My official score for Jake Paul's You Gotta Want It is a D-. As in, I wish he had minused some of the references to his D. In addition to this masterpiece, Lele Pons, who in a lot of ways is the female version of Jake Paul, also wrote her own advice book about getting through high school. And I'm not gonna go into detail about this one because I think Nerd City already said everything there was to say about this book, but to sum it up, her advice is basically that things get easier the more famous you get. And that's super helpful advice for the 99.9% of struggling teenagers who will never be nearly as famous as she is. Don't worry guys, it gets better. Just become rich. From what I can tell, there's pretty much only 3 different types of YouTuber books. There's the autobiography, where you cover your life story in excruciating detail and act like you've really had to beat the odds and overcome all these obstacles in your life, which just means your parents got divorced and that was the worst thing that ever happened to you. Number 2, there's the tongue-in-cheek advice book, How to Adult, Adulting 101 for adults. But don't take it from me, guys. I'm just a 30-year-old, 15-year-old. And then third, there's the rare fictional YA novel. Joey Graceffa wrote 2 of these, and they seem to have pretty mixed reviews. I don't know a lot about Joey or what he does, but I at least can respect the originality here. I think it's cool he had an idea and tried to execute it. Whether or not he actually achieved it, that's up for debate, but it was ambitious, so I'll give him that. There is one book that doesn't fit into any of these categories, and that's Gabby Hanna's much maligned collection of poetry, Adultolescence. Now, Gabby is someone who always seems to end up involved in some kind of drama, and personally, I have paid attention to none of it, except for her Genius interview, because that was just funny.
Maybe I'm the monster.
But other than that, I'm not going to try and tell you what she has done or hasn't done that's bad, because I genuinely don't know. It's weird. Sometimes with YouTube drama, I'm like, oh, this is juicy, do tell. And then other times I'm like, how did I end up on a channel called Farting the Tea, where all of their videos are just scrolls of text set to Wii menu music? Do I really care that much to watch this? No, I don't. So again, I'm not saying she's guilty of anything, and I'm not saying she's innocent of anything. I'm only going to look at this book as what it is. First thing I'll say is it's really easy to criticize the worst of this book. Plenty of people have already done that. At its worst, the poems are very
not good. And she didn't do herself any favors by openly admitting in the book that much of them only exist because she had a deadline and needed to fill space. Which, if I'm being honest, was kind of a relief to read because it's right at the end of the book and it sort of answers a question you might have already had. But as a result, many of the poems end up reading like tweets that should have stayed drafts but instead got reformatted to fill pages in between actual poems. I'm sure even Gabby herself would admit that a lot of these entries shouldn't even be considered poetry. Sad-isfied. It's the whole page. You get it? Because she's sad. Is fied. So she's like happy and sad. I think there's a lot of depth to that one. This one's called K, and then the whole poem is actually just her sending someone a text that says K, and the other person read it. So that's very interesting to me. And of course, got to talk about this one. Link, that's just the title of the poem, and then the poem is in bio. So you read it all together and it's link in bio. That one's kind of a thinker. You really gotta ponder on that one for a while, but once it clicks in your brain, it's very cool. Ew, you're disgustingly perfect. I like that one, it has a twist. And then right under it, Catholic. I gave up for Lent. Right, I gave up. It's funny. I've never heard that joke before. That's why it's so good. So yeah, a lot of this is either just blatant page filler or very short poems that have the depth of an above ground pool that hasn't been filled yet. If the world ended tomorrow, what would you do today? I'd hurriedly make my way to an all-you-can-eat buffet. If the world was ending tomorrow, I'd eat some food. And the poetry award goes to... Like, I didn't think I was, like, gonna like it the way that I like it, but, like, I like it. I take it back. This is a great book. The most egregious examples of page fillers are these, like, advice poems that are supposed to read like text. There's no punctuation and things are misspelled intentionally because that was the stylistic choice. But they're also meaningless and dumb that I'm almost certain they were the very last thing to be added to the book.
Hey, Gabby, book's looking great. We just need 10 more pages?
Yeah, that's no problem. How much time do I have?
Oh, you're fine. I just need them in 1 minute.
What? People change. I used to hate coconut. When I was over McDonald's, when I was a kid, my biggest fear was getting lost. When I was a kid, I thought it was don't believe everything you read. Now I don't love details. So don't make problems with our own devil snacks. Don't believe everything you read. Unless you read that I'm cool, you can believe that. All right, well, they're not great, but here you go. That does not matter to me. Okay, thanks.
Well, I'm glad you're satisfied, 'cause I'm just sad. Isfied. Sad-isfied. Wait, I thought of another one!
To be fair, though, there are plenty of good poems in here. Like I said, it's really easy to cherry pick the dozen or so terrible ones, but for the most part, it's not a terrible book. Had she been able to spend more time on this, letting inspiration come to her naturally, instead of rushing out a bunch of shower thoughts, I think this would have been a really good first try at her version of a Shel Silverstein book. I know she's talented. That's why even though I saw all these videos about the book, I wanted to read it for myself. I wanted to see if it was really as bad as people said, and a lot of it is not that bad. I was surprised how much I liked a lot of the drawings. I mean, obviously putting a drawing next to a poem doesn't make the poem better, but it is at least more interesting to look at as you're scrolling through the book. Ultimately, I think Gabby could have avoided almost all of the backlash she got from this if she had either taken a few more months to actually finish it, or if she had just charged less for the book. It would have made the expectations people had going into it more reasonable. I mean, I got this used on Amazon for a couple of bucks, but if I were to have bought this when it came out from stores, it would have cost me $16.99. That is the perceived value of this book according to the publisher who published it. A paperback copy of an unfinished poetry collection, $17. By comparison, here is a hardcover copy of Rhett and Link's Book of Mythicality. This book is fantastic. It's funny, it's personal, the artwork is beautiful, every single page has an intricate, unique design. I believe over a dozen people worked on it. It was a massive project that got all of the time and attention it needed. And since this is a hardcover book, the pages are really thick, it cost more to produce, so that would be factored into the price as well. So if this is $17, then this should be like $40, right? No. $21. This more durable, sturdy copy of a more thoroughly crafted book is only $4 more than this. So if you're gonna charge a premium price for your book, you're gonna have to live up to those expectations. And I'm sure it wasn't up to her what the price was. I've never worked with a publisher, I've never published a book, but I know a lot of control is taken away from the author, and this is probably what the publisher has decided. But it is still her fault for putting herself in that position, agreeing to a deadline that she probably should have known was unreachable. Don't get me wrong,
wrong, as a fellow creator, I totally understand how deadlines can mess you up and get in the way of making something as good as you think it could be. Have you ever noticed that I almost always post videos on the very last day of the month? That's because I sign contracts with the brands that sponsor me, and I physically can't procrastinate any longer than I already have. But the thing is, that's on me. If I have to put out an unfinished video because I didn't have enough time to work on it, it's still my fault for agreeing to the contract that set that deadline. I don't get to play the victim in that situation, and I don't think Gabby does either, because she still profited heavily off of this. She defends a lot of these unfinished poems by saying how cathartic they were for her to write, and that's great. I'm glad that this was therapeutic for you to write this book, but you still charged people money for it. Like, it's great that you got something out of writing it, but you need to make sure that if people are paying money, that they're getting the same amount of quality in return. But those are my thoughts on this book. I'm not trying to start drama with Gabby. I think she's very talented. I'm sure she learned her lesson from this. And we'll see how her next book turns out. I think my main takeaway from this video is that the most well-received YouTuber books are the ones that act as an extension of the channel. So for someone whose channel is dedicated to coming up with fun recipes, releasing a cookbook full of them isn't some out-of-left-field obvious cash grab. A book about sex makes a lot more sense when it's coming from a YouTuber who already makes videos about sex. The same cannot be said about the Disney Channel vlogger who devoted an entire chapter of his memoir to that time someone touched his ding dong. One book I really respect is by Charlie McDonnell, who's a super OG YouTuber. He used to go by Charlie Is So Cool Like. He wrote an entire book about fun science facts that he enjoys. I think it's cool that he took that opportunity to just make something he's passionate about. It doesn't seem like a lazy afterthought, like, oh, I gotta write a book, I guess I'll talk about what middle school was like for me? Would people like that? He chose an extremely specific topic and went all in on it because that's what he wanted to do. And that's cool. Trying to get teenagers to be interested in science is a lot more noble than trying to teach them how to be good at Instagram. One thing I will say about every single YouTuber book is at least they did it. I can sit here and criticize every single page of a book, but at the end of the day, they still wrote more of a book than I ever have. I don't think I'll ever have the patience or self-discipline to finish that big of a project. So kudos to anyone who's ever finished a book. I'm curious to hear in the comments if you guys have read any other YouTuber books that were better than you thought they'd be, or worse than you thought they'd be, or you never actually finished reading it because you only bought it to support the creator, but then you kept getting distracted. I would understand. I do that too.
Hey guy, I know you probably want to, but you don't actually need to tell me that I have two distinctly different hair colors fighting to the death on top of my head. I am aware of that. I am also aware of the fact that they are both losing. So a little over a year ago, I got an ad for something called The Cove, an almost $500 sleep headset that was touted to me as a hug for your mind. Not that there's literally any other information in this ad. It's just kind of floating there, and I guess you're supposed to be like, well, it emits vibrations, so it's got to do something, right? As expected, the website focused more on buzzwords than anything else. Enjoy life more by stressing less. Cove makes peace of mind effortless. Cove plus TV equals evening serenity. I feel like it's such a cop-out to be like, this thing will make your brain calmer. Just, you know, make sure to wear it while doing something you enjoy. Otherwise, it's not gonna work. Like, I wonder what's making me happier right now. Is it the show that I like, or the piece of plastic I put on my head? The most notable scientific citation they have is something called interoception, the sixth sense that we've conveniently never heard of. Because how can I say that they're wrong if I don't even know what that is? Anyway, at a price point of $490, I didn't end up buying it at the time because it was so expensive and supposedly life-changing. I figured I would save it for its own video one day. But before long, I noticed that the Amazon link I had bookmarked changed it to say currently unavailable. So I thought maybe they're coming out with a newer version. I guess I'll just wait and see. Cut to about a month ago, I checked their website again, and The Cove has been discontinued. No! Where am I gonna get my interoception from now? Here is their explanation. In an effort to scale Cove's proprietary technology to reach as many people as possible, we have made the strategic decision to discontinue the Cove product line as it exists today and will no longer be selling directly to consumers. Huh? In an effort to get the Cove to as many people as possible, we will no longer be making or selling them. What the fuck does that mean? Okay, so maybe they explained it more somewhere else? No posts in over 10 weeks, and you can't comment on their Instagram, and you can't comment on their Facebook, and you can't reply to any of their tweets. Now, I can't say for certain that they're trying to hide something, but I can say that if you were trying to hide something, this is how you would do it. I tried to look more into it, and all I could find is just like article after article over the past couple of years of people either saying, it kinda helped me, I think, or that it was a huge waste of money. And then all of a sudden, it's just gone? So I don't know what happened for sure. The wording of their statement almost makes it sound like they sold their technology to another company. Maybe because they didn't actually believe in it that much in the first place, so as soon as I got an offer to cash out and disappear, they jumped on the opportunity. But either way, this abrupt departure and nebulous goodbye message is not really a great look for them after spending 2 years promising to change people's lives. Well, it seems we've killed the man, but not the idea. There are now seemingly dozens of copycat headsets and watches and vibrating eggs you put on your chest. A whole slew of little devices that each cost hundreds of dollars, all with the same promise of fixing your broken brain, usually backed up by vague in-house research. I mean, we think it works pretty good. And can you guess what all of these things have in common? That's right. I've gotten ads for every single one of them on Instagram. If I had to guess why, it's because about a month ago, I had the worst panic attack of my life, which honestly is saying something because in the past, I've talked about having to go to the ER from panic attacks. But this one was terrifying. For a little over 2 hours, I thought I was going to throw up, pass out, suffocate, die, any or all of those things. And as panic attacks do, it eventually went away, and I'm doing a lot better now. I mean, the next day I was feeling great. It was just, that's how anxiety is. It comes up out of nowhere sometimes, and it feels like debilitating, like there's nothing you can do to stop it or that it will never go away. So even though I'm in a much better mental state now, words still got out that, you know, sometimes my brain forgets we're supposed to be on the same team, and Instagram has been having a field day with this. Mind Bloom, Brain Luxury Inc., Call Me Go, Mendy, Leaf, Apollo Neuro, Sensate, The Neo Rhythm by Omnipimp, a sleep insert that's implanted into your body? You think I'm gonna buy a surgery from Instagram? Right away with these ads, there was a pretty big red flag for me when this guy popped up. If you've watched some of my other videos, you may recognize him from a very different Instagram ad for the work oney.
There's even a flap on the back, just in case.
So it's like, okay, maybe this is not a connoisseur of internet gadgets. This is a paid actor. And that doesn't mean that this product can't work, but it does sort of break the illusion that this is just a candid testimonial.
Working several jobs, I tend to have high stress and anxiety buildup. I decided to try this product right here to help with that. This product is clinically proven to decrease stress and anxiety in 8 weeks or less.
8 weeks is a long time to have something taped to my chest, not even knowing if it's gonna work or not. Also, a lot can change in the span of 8 weeks. Like, there's so many factors that go into mental health that it's almost hard to like even point to this as the sole reason why your stress or anxiety would go down.
The Leaf is a wearable device that utilizes vibration feedback to assist in regulated breathing and increase your heart rate variability.
But all right, product number 1 uses vibration feedback. Product number 2 is the Mendy.
I had been using it probably about 3 times a week for a couple of months, and then went to a conference with my husband. I was sitting there listening and thought, okay, pay attention and focus. And as I did that, I realized I was focusing.
All right, that's very anecdotal.
The Mendy is working.
At least the other one, they said vibration feedback. This one, she's just like, I put it on my head 3 times and then I was able to listen better at a conference. The headset is used to measure your brain activity. It automatically connects to Mendy's app. Okay, but what does it do? Follow your progress and get lifestyle recommendations that help you boost your training and brain health further. Okay, but what does it do? Controlling mood, increasing focus, improving sleep. But how? How does it do those things? The training game shows what's happening in your brain. Simply focus to make the ball rise. Okay, so it doesn't like do anything to my brain, but it can measure my brain's activity. I could sort of train myself to focus by rewarding my brain when it does a good job, I guess. Up next, we have another headset. It's called the NeoRhythm.
I swear by my NeoRhythm.
Notice big differences. I'm able to fall asleep faster.
Okay, so it helps you sleep.
Able to get a lot more work done.
Okay, so it helps you stay awake.
This little miracle of a device has kept me up for the past 8 hours.
Okay, so it keeps you from sleeping.
I was really skeptical, like, it looks like a Halloween costume, let's be real. But I have to say, I think it's actually working.
All right, well, I mean, if she thinks it's working, then I gotta spend $300 on it. NeoRhythm is a pulsed electromagnetic field therapy device that emits corresponding dominant and accompanying frequencies to which the brain synchronizes, creating a perfect mental environment for the desired state of mind. The fuck? I guess I'm just skeptical on how the same device could help you do two opposite tasks. How does it know whether I'm trying to sleep or stay awake? Well, let's see the reviews. I like the idea, I just have not felt any benefits or difference from using the device. Seems to be a scam. The product does not have an efficacy beyond that of a placebo. It's hard to know if you're improving as there is no feedback. My experience so far has been no different than if I'd purchased a really expensive piece of plastic with an LED light on it. I've tried almost daily for several months as a sleep aid, but can't say I've noticed any difference. Damn. But still, way more people seem to swear by it than the amount of people that think it sucks. Maybe they're just doing it wrong. Maybe they're just stupid. So those are things you put on your head. You've also got the Apollo that you put on your wrist.
Why I can't go a day without this wearable. It improved the quality of my sleep. I've never slept better than when I started using the Apollo wearable.
Okay, so it helps you sleep.
It helps me focus when I'm working. My productivity has almost doubled since buying the Apollo wearable.
Okay, so it helps keep you awake.
It's kind of like a wearable hug for your nervous system.
I mean, that sounds good, but like, what does that mean? Like, I don't want to hear a metaphor of what it's like. I just want to know what it does. So this one is the one I've heard the most about. I've heard it mentioned on podcasts before. It's also the most expensive out of all these products, although they're all about the same price. So we'll see. Product number 5, we've got the Sensate, which is described as a pebble that emits infrasonic vibrations to tone the vagus nerve and improve overall well-being. From what I can tell, you put it on your chest while meditating, and then it like makes you calmer over time. Now, if this is a product you have to use while meditating, it's hard to really know if it's actually doing anything, right? Because meditation in itself is something you can do to calm yourself down. It doesn't always work, but sometimes it does. So if you meditate with this egg on your chest and then you feel better, was it the egg or was it the meditation? Who's to say, you know? Guess there's no way to prove it. And then the last product is called the Calmigo. It's pretty different from all the others, but kind of has the same goal.
Everything's better now.
So how do you look so calm? I use Calmigo. It's a little device that helps calm you down when you're anxious.
Okay, so it's like an inhaler that you breathe into and you're having a panic attack, and I guess it smells good. The thing is, though, like my first impression of this is that out of all of these products, this would be the most helpful because it doesn't rely on doing some invisible thing like emitting magnetic rays into your brain. I can't see that, so I don't know if it's actually doing that. Whenever I'm anxious, the first thing I'll try to do is like pay attention to my breathing. I'll breathe in slowly and breathe out. And if that's what this thing is helping you do, then like, even though it's overpriced and you can breathe for free, at least it's like doing a physical thing to help you. So you probably notice I'm a little skeptical of almost all of these products. I want to believe that the science is all true and it's all legitimate. I want to believe that these companies truly just set out to help people on their journey. But let's be real about it. As more and more people talk about mental health struggles, there are other people who look at that as a new market to target. It is an ever-growing demographic of people who are probably seen as easily exploitable. So that's why I'm a little hesitant to just be like, oh boy, all this stuff is gonna fix my brain. Because you wanna know how much money I spent on 6 devices? $1,462.96. $1,462.
Hi, welcome to the unboxing couch. This is where I will take things out of a box and put them on my head. Now, any mathematicians watching may have noticed that I bought 6 products and yet I only have 4 boxes. What's up with that? Looks like DHL had an issue delivering the Neorhythm and it's currently stuck in Slovenia. And the Sensate egg ball is on back order. You'd think maybe they could have told me that before I paid for it, but then, you know, I might not have bought it and then they wouldn't get any money. So why would we tell you that? Usually I would try to be a little bit more understanding about this. I know that there's supply chain issues. I know that things get delayed all the time. But I do feel like if you're gonna market yourself as like the we made this product because we care about people company, then, you know, maybe you should have slightly higher standards. At the very least, once you're aware of the fact that you don't have any of a product left, maybe stop taking orders. Even though I have no idea when my Sensate will show up, I can still go on the website and buy another one. Why is that? You see what I'm saying? It doesn't really seem like you care that much about people's mental health when you're willing to just hoard their money for an indefinite amount of time. So I don't think I'm gonna get this one in time to include it in the video, which is unfortunate because I think it might help alleviate some of the stress that it is causing me. But honestly, I don't know if I had super high hopes anyway for a product whose worst reviews are all like, it's broken, it broke, and the best reviews are like, it was great until it broke. Hey, it can't stop working if you never get it in the first place. Mindy was one that you put on your head, right? I'll start with that. What is the point of this? It's in a box, wrapped in bubble wrap, inside another box. And then for extra protection, they put in 1 sheet of paper. This is how it arrived in one piece. Oh, it's beautiful. Finally, I can pay attention at the conference. Welcome to Mindy. Inside this box, you have one of the very first Mindy devices to ever see the light of day. Guess they haven't sold that many. Important product and legal information. This product is illegal to use. Good to know. Now here's the goods right here. Hell, I don't think I'm supposed to put it on my head yet, but obviously I'm gonna put it on my head. So this one has no information on it. I just have to download an app. Ooh, the app has a 3.6, not great. And from all I know about this, like the whole thing is the app. So if the app sucks, then the product is useless. So that's not a great sign. Mindy doesn't have enough variety. It is currently only the ball game and 1 music piece. For something you are encouraged to do at least 3 times a week, 5 minutes a session, I wish there was more. For the price, I feel like this hurts the experience and desire to use it. That's a good point. Welcome to Mindy. Let your brain health journey begin. Great news. There's an update available. Is that great news? It's a headset right above your eyebrows. Tighten as much as possible. Fuck. It's already pretty tight. It's not super comfortable, but I'm here for results. All right, not comfort. No pain, no gain, even with your brain. Avoid bright light. Oh, not sure that's really an option. All right, the movement of the ball represents your brain activity. Ball rises a few seconds after you increase your brain activity. Win stars by sustaining your brain activity. I want to win some stars. Do they work on the Jeremy Renner app? I don't know how to make myself focus more. Whoa, I did it. Oh, I suck now. Don't get me wrong, I love that I'm getting stars, but I don't know what I'm doing to earn them. I'm just gonna shut up and focus. It worked. Oh no, oh no. I'm plummeting right now. 58? I failed? I guess the thing is, like, I don't know how to be good at it. Like, I understand that if it goes up, I'm doing well, and if it goes down, I'm sucking ass, but I don't know what I'm doing to cause either of those things. The only thing I do know is that it's on so tight I can feel my pulse in my forehead, and I don't love that. Okay, at least though, it gave me a metric, it gave me a starting point. I can do this every day for a couple weeks and see if I get better at it. Set a weekly goal. 7 days. I'm doing it every day this week. Add the weekly goal to my home screen? Aw, no. So you're supposed to do this like every day when you first wake up and then go straight to work and have like a giant like bruise on your forehead. So I've got something for my head. Now I need something for my wrist. I gotta stop trying to figure out how stuff works before just reading the instructions. We recommend having the Apollo wearable gently vibrating on your body for at least 3 hours a day. I have 2 watches? I look like such a dork. I look like I'm under house arrest.
No, officer, it's not like that. I just have anxiety.
Apollo's modes deliver a novel touch therapy that signals safety to your brain through your sense of touch, restoring balance to the nervous system and helping you bounce back faster.
Does this have an app too?
3.5? That's even worse.
You know the worst thing about making these videos is, every time I sign up for something, every time I buy something, I start getting spam emails from them. I'm gonna get so many emails.
I don't want any emails. Ever.
Okay, I can feel it vibrating when I touch it, but I don't feel it vibrating on my wrist. I guess I kind of feel it. It's like really light. Adjust intensity until vibrations are noticeable but not distracting. It's a little distracting, I'll say. Do I want energy and wake up? Social and open? Clear and focused? Let's do clear and focus, all right? So it's just gonna vibrate on my wrist, but like really gently.
Hi, me from the future. All my hair fell off. Don't ask any questions. So I wanted to look a little bit more into some of the research that these companies are citing. Like for the Apollo, they've got a pretty small study here, only 38 participants, but they're touting a 25% increase in focus. Interesting. I didn't think that's something you could measure with a number, but you know what they say.
Science is whatever we want it to be.
All right, let's check out the abstract. And it is behind a paywall. It's gonna cost me $31 to actually see the study that they are bragging about. Awesome. Here's some more preliminary studies. These seem to be promising results. Now let's go to the study itself, where you can see that the results have not been published. So where are they getting these numbers from, huh? It's not over yet. Now, to be fair, these numbers are positive, I'll give them that. At the very least, it doesn't seem to be making things worse for people. But wait a minute, what the hell is an Aura Ring? Another $400 device? Do I have to have both in order for this thing to work? I'm running out of money. Speaking of which, how the fuck does this wristband cost $400? All it does is kind of vibrate. And I guess it has Bluetooth in it too, so it can connect to your phone. You know what else has Bluetooth and the ability to vibrate? A $35 Xbox controller. There's no way it costs even $100 to make one of these things. It's not like it's an all-in-one device either. It doesn't track any of the data that it is supposed to be having an effect on. You need to buy another device to go with it in order to be able to tell if it is working. Now, I'm not saying these companies shouldn't be able to profit. There's a lot of work that goes into production and marketing and coordinating these studies that get hidden behind a paywall. But at a certain point, it's like, what are we doing here? Do you even want this thing to be accessible to the people you're trying to help? I don't want to just dismiss this device altogether, because I know that there are promising studies about it. There are a lot of positive testimonials from people. I just think this company could find a way to still be very profitable without pricing it like it's some miracle device filled with state-of-the-art technology. It's a piece of plastic with a Velcro strap on it. All right, well, I got to do this for 30 minutes, so let's keep opening boxes.
Call me go. What does a 3 minutes at the top mean? It only takes 3 minutes to do what? To use it? It only takes 3 minutes to set it up? I'm so excited for how calm I'm gonna be. I got my wrist shaking up a storm. I got this inhaler that smells like lavender. And it only takes 3 minutes.
Oh, hell yeah. It came with a little screwdriver.
And free batteries. I didn't know it was my lucky day. There's a phone number for a free one-on-one training session. All right. Not a great sign. Can't be that hard. I'll figure it out myself. Oh, I'm high as shit. I don't know what I'm doing. When I blow into it, I can feel a little ball inside, and it goes up to the top, and then the light turns blue, and then when I stop breathing, the light turns off, indicating that I'm not breathing, and the ball falls back down because I'm not blowing into it anymore. But what does it actually do? Well, guess that's going off for now. Last but most certainly not least, Leaf Therapeutics with a hole in the back, just in case. Aw, how nice of them. They already gave me a return envelope. They know I'm gonna return it. This was the cheapest product technically, because I think it was only like $99, but that's $99 a month. If I really loved this product and I really felt like it was helping me and I wanted to use it for an entire year,
That's $1,200. But we just want to help people. We want to make it easier for people to give us money so we can buy stuff. Oh no. Oh no, there's a lot of 1-star reviews from years ago. Wow, these are from 3 years ago. Super disappointed in this company. There are no instructions and the data is so hard to see and or understand. When I try to get help, the company tried to sell me coaching. I needed customer service to explain the product. Super disappointed in this company. I think I'm gonna hold off on this until tomorrow, actually, because I've got to be somewhere in 20 minutes and I don't want to have, you know, wires dangling from my chest. But thanks to my new upside down watch, I'm gonna be really calm and focused when I get there because my wrist is gently shaking. That's how brains work. Oh, my forehead's so cold. Good thing my other headset just arrived. Oh God, there's so many things. Charge, download the app, sign up, log in, tap once, activate Bluetooth, first use, select and tap, 2 taps to change, 2 taps to repeat. And it's as easy as that. Oh, this is great. I guess I gotta charge it first then. While that's charging, I'm gonna do my Mindy for the day. It's really important that I begin every clip in this video with a giant red mark on my forehead. I think this time I am gonna watch the video. I was too cocky.
Optimize your experience by wearing headphones that cancel out any outside noise. When you start your training, concentrate on the pressure of the Mendy headband on your forehead. Focus on the sensation and hone in on the movement of the ball. Focus your gaze on the movement of the ball, but don't place too much emphasis on its upward movement.
Okay, but here's what I don't understand. I've used this a couple times. If I just focus on the ball, I'm not in a flow state. I'm waiting for the ball to do something, but then I'm the one in control of the ball, but I don't know how to control the ball. That makes me reactive. You know, how is that any different than me just like scrolling through Twitter, like waiting to be stimulated by something? If I'm waiting to be stimulated by the ball, I'm not doing anything, you know?
Making Mendy a habit and including it into your wellness routine will have a positive impact on your progress.
Like you said, I'm gonna put noise canceling headphones on so I'm not distracted. And this should be my best one yet because I'm following all the rules. Hi, me again. Now, I developed a suspicion early on that no matter what I did, the Mindy app was going to tell me that I kept doing better every single day because obviously it wants me to think that it is working. So after a couple days, I decided to see what would happen if I intentionally sabotaged my training. On day 4, I just laid down until I dozed off, and boy was I focused. I mean, look at all those stars. I'm killing it right now. On day 5, I spent the entire session just watching a YouTube video. On day 6, I played RimWorld the whole time. On day 7, I didn't even look at my phone once. I just spent my whole session eating a wrap that I made purposely too big. My best score so far. On day 8, I rode my exercise bike while playing a guitar solo to the Mindy song. And even though I forgot to plug in my actual microphone for this shot, I still knocked that ball game out of the park.
I think I cracked the code.
Just as I suspected, my score went up incrementally every single day. 58 to 64 to 68 to 71 to 79 to 86. Despite the fact that I wasn't even trying to do any of what the app told me to do, my brain was getting better and better every day the more I used the Mindy. And sure, there's a chance that maybe I really was just more focused every time. Shit, maybe all these products in conjunction with each other are working as intended and my brain has doubled in size. But it's hard not to think that maybe the app is just doing exactly what it's designed to, which is to make you think that you're getting smarter every day and that this was a good investment. Call me a cynic, but I'm not buying it. And if you still don't believe me, on day 9, I strapped the Mindy to a container of oatmeal, and you know what happened? Nothing. Actually, it knew that I was trying to deceive it. So I do have to give this thing a little bit of credit for at least being able to tell the difference between a human head and Publix old-fashioned dry oats. It's doing something in there. I'm just not exactly sure what. All right, so this is probably charged enough to get one thing out of it. Gotta download the app. This is too many things for one video. I should have just bought like 3 of them. Oh, yikes. 2.6. Double tap the device. Okay, I heard a buzz. Oh, it's just running now? That's it? It just started? Where do I put it? Oh no, it doesn't fit. It's supposed to sit right here. And instead, it sits right here. And it smells bad. I'm sorry, but it stinks. I think we're supposed to wear it like this, actually. I can hear it. It sounds like crickets almost. It's like tick, tick, tick,
This has really bad branding because it's like, okay, I set it up, but like, what do I do now? It's not giving me suggestions of like what mode to do or when to do it or how often to do it. I'm supposed to just know all this stuff, I guess. I want to enhance mental capacity. I'm trying to get that limitless brain. We're gonna do it for 30 minutes. I'm going to continue the video while my brain just gets bigger and bigger. You guys let me know if I start getting really smart in the next 30 minutes, we'll know why. All right, let me figure out how to get this fucking leaf thing going. Put on torso, find the edge of your ribs. This blurry ass photo is all I have to go off of? Oh, I'm stuck. I'm just gonna say it goes right there, and it's cold. Why do you need my location? So this is like completely dead? Never mind, I can't get it to work until it charges. So should have opened that box earlier. You know, I guess in the future, maybe instead of unboxing everything on camera, I'll unbox it beforehand so I can charge it first. Hey, wait, that's a pretty good idea. Did I only think of that because I got this fucking thing on my head? I really am smarter now. Just gotta grab this one and leaf on top of that, and this guy, and then that's the wrong plug. There, don't forgot one. And now I can relax. All right, let's talk about the leaf. I'm not gonna wait 8 weeks to see if this starts making a difference. I'm gonna return it now. I think it's awfully convenient a company that charges you a monthly fee wants you to be extremely patient with their product. Please pay us at least 3 times before sending it back. And it's not because I think this is a piece of junk. Honestly, it does exactly what it's advertised to do. It tracks your HRV, your heart rate variability, a metric that I had never heard of until it told me about it. And it guides you through these like timed breathing sessions in order to increase the number, because the higher the better, I guess. At least if you Google HRV, it'll tell you it's a big predictor for future health. If the number's high, you'll live forever. If it's low, you might as well dig your own grave now. But upon further research, it seems like there is some debate about what the number actually means. Some people believe everyone just kind of has their own baseline level, and the value in tracking it is simply that when the number starts to trend downward, that can be a sign of a lot of added stress in your life, or even that you might be a couple days away from getting sick before showing symptoms, which is actually really interesting. But anyway, while I'm not 100% sure what to do with the number it gives me, I do know that having an app that I can open up at any time that'll show me how close I am to allegedly dying is probably the worst thing for my mental health. It's kind of like when I first bought an Apple Watch a few years ago and I started obsessing over my heart rate, because up until that point I had never had a device that could track it for me. So then I spent the next few months worrying about how high it was and what that might mean for my health, until one day I decided to just stop looking at it, and then can you guess what happened? It went down. I was causing the problem that I was stressing about by stressing about it. So I'm not gonna make the same mistake again with this thing, although it would be unfair for me to judge them because of that. That's my own issue. So let's say hypothetically I were to keep using this, what would that experience look like? Well, for starters, I would have to tape this device to my chest every day. I have to feel this cold, sticky tape on my torso, what, for the rest of my life? And then when I run out of tape, I'm gonna have to buy more? I'm not gonna do all that. Also, there is a massive flaw with this device, which is that it is touch activated. By tapping it, you can initiate an automated breathing session where it vibrates super hard on your chest for like 3 minutes. I wore this thing for a day and a half. I must have accidentally activated that thing like 25 times, 10 or so of which were while I was asleep. And it kept waking me up. And maybe you're thinking, Drew, surely that is a setting that can be turned off. No, it's not. If I want to use this thing to track my HRV and my sleep, I just have to deal with the fact that it's gonna wake me up a bunch. The funniest thing about this to me is that I used another app to track my sleep quality. So this right here is me just going to bed normally, no devices, just raw dogging sleep. And this is the one and only night that I wore the leaf. Not only did my sleep score go way down, probably because I kept getting interrupted, but my heart rate variability got cut in half. That is the one thing this device is supposed to improve. So I'm thinking, like, what's the end game here? I keep using this device for weeks and hope that that number keeps improving until it gets back to where it was before I started. And then when that finally happens, I decide, gee, I guess I
can't live without this device. I guess I'll keep paying them $99 a month forever, because as far as I can tell, there's no way to opt out of the coaching they automatically signed me up for when I bought it. Which also, like, what do I need coaching for anyway? The app tells me how to do it. She didn't even get my name right.
Andrew.
If HRV is important to you and it's something you'd like to be able to track, then I would recommend getting one of the many devices out there that will track it for you and that you don't have to tape to your chest. And even though all of these devices are more expensive than $99, after a couple months, it will be the same price. And then every month after that, it will be another $99 cheaper, and so on and so forth forever. Who thought of this business model? And why are they not in jail? Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go put that in a prepaid envelope. All right, this is gonna be the most positive segment of the whole video. I think the Call Me Go is a pretty okay product. I will not say it's worth $200, but that still makes it the cheapest out of all the products in this video when you consider the fact that you don't have to subscribe to it. I finally figured out how to use it, even though they never answered my phone call. Basically, you just breathe into it until it vibrates, and that means you've exhaled long enough, so then you breathe in, exhale again, so on and so forth for a couple of minutes. Thankfully, I haven't had a panic attack since I got this thing, but the next time I do, I will definitely try to use it and see if it helps at all. Well, the rest of these products have the promise of this sort of silent long-term effect that you're supposed to just trust is happening and hope that in like 2 months that maybe you might feel some slight difference. They don't do anything to help you if you have a sudden onset of anxiety. This is something that at least has the potential to give you some immediate relief. Again, there are plenty of free ways to accomplish the same exact thing. There are YouTube videos with breathing exercises. You could even just like time how long this tells you to breathe in and out, and then next time count out loud yourself. So I'm not gonna say $198 is some great value for this, but does it do what it's supposed to do? Yes. I can see the practicality in owning one of these. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that, because I have nothing else nice to say for the rest of the video. Boom, you meowed at the door to come in, and I let you in and I closed the door, and now you want to get out? Too bad, you're trapped. My favorite thing about the Apollo is how cumbersome it is to wear on your wrist, because it has to go on the bottom, so it gets in the way of everything. Luckily, the solution is to wear it, that's right, on your ankle. So now every time I walk outside my house, my neighbors do a double take and then sprint in the opposite direction. I didn't commit a crime, Beatrice. I just have trouble focusing. So I've been sleeping with the Apollo and the Neo Rhythm. I've done different combinations. Some nights I'll only wear one. Some nights I haven't worn either of them. Actually, the very first night I had this on my head, which I thought was super uncomfortable. And then I found out you're supposed to put it under the pillow. So that's probably the dumbest I've ever felt. Though it's not like they said that in the app. I had to find that out from a random YouTube video. And if I hadn't found that, I would have just kept putting it on my head every night. But then hold on, and I know this may be a stupid question, but can the electromagnetic pulses even make it that far? Like, I still don't really know how this thing works, but how far do they actually go? Not to brag or anything, but my pillow's pretty thick. Can the pulses go all the way through it? They give you this little magnetic tester that beeps when it's on, which I think it's funny that they feel like they probably have to prove that this thing actually does something, and that's why they give it to us, but that's besides the point. But how it works is that you can only hear it beeping if it's right up next to it. Even if I'm like an inch away, it stops beeping. So you're telling me it has to go all the way through my pillow and pillowcase and skull just to make it into my brain? Shit, what's to stop it from going over to my neighbor's house and getting into their heads? Guess the whole neighborhood's sleeping good tonight. Anyway, for me at least, it seems like it has no effect. As you can see, I am physically incapable of having medium quality sleep. I either sleep amazing or terrible. Just for the sake of being thorough, I'm gonna keep experimenting with these things for the next couple of months, and I'll let you know in a future video if anything drastic changes, but for the time being, I don't feel like I'm getting anything out of these wearables. There are people who say that they felt relief within seconds of putting this thing on their neck, and like the third time I put it on, I got a headache. I'm not trying to spend $300 on a headache. I don't want that shit for free. Out of curiosity, I looked up a few reviews of the product on YouTube, and it kind of seemed like all of them had affiliate links in the description, which sort of means that they're incentivized to say positive things about the product. Even still, I thought it was funny how many of the reviewers would say things like, this technology is groundbreaking. It's so cool. It didn't do anything for me, even though I wore it for 3 weeks, but maybe if you buy it, you'll have different results. Now, the thing about mental health is is you can't see it. To everyone else around you, it's invisible. That's why even though it has been heavily destigmatized, no matter what, there will always be people who look at you and say, you're not depressed, you're just lazy. Or like, anxiety's not real because I don't have it, and I'm the main character. But because brain health is invisible, it's impossible for me to prove that these products don't do anything. Like I said, there's people online who say they bought one and it changed their life. I would love it if these things worked perfectly for everyone all the time and it made all our lives better. That would be amazing. I would love it if I could put a piece of plastic on my head and never have anxiety again. But I worry that because it's so clear how hit or miss these devices are, that maybe there might be some placebo effect going on. And look, if it works, it works. That's great for those people. Right, because if it is a placebo effect, that means for everyone who bought it and didn't get anything out of it, all it's done is made their lives worse because they still have anxiety, but now with $400 fewer dollars. What I will say is that I think there is legitimacy in just having something to focus on when working towards a goal. A lot of the time with mental health, it kind of feels like the only thing you can do is just wait for it to get better, or you end up in a depression loop where you don't have the motivation to do any of the things that may make you feel less depressed. That was a story of my life for like 2 years. So there probably is something beneficial just in scheduling a task every day. Maybe part of it is the task itself, and part of it is the sense that you're actively working towards something. Like, these things don't do anything unless you tell them to. So when you sit down to work and you're like, I need to be more focused, I could try putting this thing on my wrist and activating focused and energized mode, and then, maybe I'll get more work done. And maybe on the other end of the spectrum, because I went into this so resistant and so skeptical, it's kind of my own fault that this didn't work for me because I wasn't allowing my brain to take on any change. It's sort of the whole I can't help you if you're not willing to help yourself thing. Although that's me really trying to give them the benefit of the doubt. Anyway, to recap my experience, I think the Mindy would be a bad investment for most people. I think the Leaf would be a bad investment for anyone. I think the NeoRhythm is a little too risky to try out yourself because it seems like a lot of people have no sensitivity to these kind of devices, and even if you want to return it for a refund, you have to spend upwards of $60 to ship it all the way back to Slovenia. I think the Call Me Go has a very niche use, but a use nonetheless, and the Apollo is probably the most overpriced product I've reviewed on this channel since the Moon Pod. I doubt even the biggest believers in this wristband can honestly say that they think this is worth what it costs. It feels so light and cheap in your hand. Just yesterday, I got an ad for almost the same exact type of product. And I don't know anything about this one, but they were charging $90 for 2 of them. And they're also just little watches that vibrate. Sure, maybe this one knocks it out of the park. Maybe it's way better, but is it $350 better? I doubt it. So as a company focused on people's well-being, if you can afford to charge substantially less for a product and still profit from it, why aren't you doing that? It seems like you've arbitrarily tacked on this mental health tax because you know that your target audience might just be desperate enough to spend all that money anyway. And so no matter how effective these things prove to be, I cannot comfortably get behind them. To me, this whole business model seems extremely exploitative. That being said, I'm curious to hear if you guys have bought anything like these and if you've had similar or hopefully better experiences. It's always hard to tell exactly what the consensus for something is, when from past experience, I know that some of these websites heavily moderate their reviews. And also half of these products don't even show reviews. They just show a handful of testimonials at the bottom and call it a day. Wow, this product is approved by 3 out of 3 people? I guess it's perfect then. Well, it's that time, folks. Time for me to